Hola, Dabbleverse. Sound check. Hola, Dabbleverse. Helps if you unmute your microphone. Schmuel fan, did you ever look into the Hannibal Directive? From Frank. Frank, I did not. Frank, I promise I will look into that. The one directive I do know about is where, is it Israel that has it? If they're holding hostages and they're not going to make a deal or something like that, they will kill everybody. Like if you know you're a hostage, you know you're in danger. Like the U.S. used to do when it said if you got taken hostage, they were never going to come and get you. Am I at least in the right direction? Oh, I always thought that was like the Moses Directive or something like that. I don't know. Um, on the I haven't looked into it, but on the surface, seems reasonable. Um, but here you go. All right, guys. I want to say hello to Chris Mack. Chris was here early and often. We've got Cupcake's Corner with American Cupcake. We'll put his link up later. Cupcake has some pretty awesome flip-flopper t-shirts that he's selling, and we'd love to help him with that. And my good friend Leo Gunn. Leo, you hit the nail on the head. The Visconti Thompsons invaded MLC again today. No bueno. Sí, no bueno. Johnny Payton, number 8. Apparently, Adam Imholt just screwed himself over by mentioning Kayla. Johnny, I would love to agree with you, and I do agree with you, but this guy slided away from more shit than anyone I've ever seen. So I have I haven't. I don't know what to tell you. We'll talk about it later. Um, Chris Mack. It's because at various points the Israelis wound up trading hundreds or even thousands of Palestinian prisoners in exchange for sometimes just one or a handful of hostages. It's just a numbers game. Um, yeah, it's a little serious. A little bit too serious for me this early in the evening, but we can definitely talk about that at some point in another show. But I guess I mean if you, whatever. I don't want to go there. Um, Johnny Payton number 8. Did you hear Gino asking KB why he hasn't paid Kiki for any of her seven appearances? And I think Gino knows the reason for that because he doesn't have to. Um, Aaron Imholt is very shifty, very, very, very. I have zero idea what's going on behind the scenes. Like I don't know what's going on with Kayla Ricada or any of those things. I also am a dumb fuck, so I don't really know what to say other than it just seems the whole thing seems very, very strange to me. And I am going to add this evening's first co-host to the platform. Let's give it up for Mr. Crumb.
Hello.
How we doing, buddy?
Good, man. Doing well.
That's
Yourself?
great. You sound great, which is really just
Thank
me
you.
asking how I sound.
You sound good. Well, yeah. Are you on the right mic? It's a little, actually, now you say it. It doesn't
That's
sound
why
like
I'm
it doesn't
asking the
sound like that.
question.
It doesn't sound like that mic.
No, it's that mic. We can fuck around with it a little bit. We can try that mic.
That's better.
Is it?
That sounds like that mic.
You know what it is? I have the excuse me. I have the Motive Mix app that runs this, and I have it set to auto. And sometimes when it's set to auto, it isn't loud enough. So we will.
No, this is the right mic you're on now. Whatever it was you just did, now it sounds like you're using a Shure. Before it sounded like you're using your computer.
It was the Shure, but the Motive Mix, their app runs it like a virtual mic. So
Gotcha.
sometimes it just it's a setting with StreamYards that creates the problem.
Yeah, dudes. Yeah, they all kind of fuck up your shit. You think you got it right when you buy your mic and your, Roadcaster, whatever you buy. You buy something and you set it up. You think it sounds good, and then you get issues because it's always the thing that you're going on live with, like StreamYard or EVMux or fucking Streamlabs.
I know.
There's so many of them, dude.
As I've said, there's like 3-4 places that I broadcast from, and I'm using the term broadcast, I should say stream from, and I will get to the place, I will set everything up, I will test everything, I will nag somebody to come on with me and check it out, and then I will come back 2 hours later, and it is completely different than it was.
Well, someone who jumps on other people's streams, I'm just waiting for a link. I'm a link fisher. I'm just like, give me the link, give me the link. So when people send the link, I encounter a lot of different streaming services. Some don't work at all on my shit. So, and then the audio is always fucked up because like, oh, you sound great, you sound like shit. You sound great, you sound like shit. We need Peter Sky Parker is the authority on all of it. So when he tells us we sound okay. We sound okay.
I know that's he's my favorite with the sound. I thought he was trolling me in the beginning.
No, dude, he's the canary in the coal mine.
And then he sent me I'm not trolling you, you fucking idiot. I try
he's
to
a
help.
legit dude. Yeah,
And
he's actually dude. If he says you sound like shit, I always agree with him because I'm like, yep, I hear it. I hear what he hears.
Yeah, I told that story before. I met him in AC, and I was so excited to meet him, and he was excited to meet me.
And I was like, but you're Peter Sky Parker.
Yeah.
Why?
No,
why
dude,
would
he's a
you care?
legend. He's a legend
would
in the
you care who I am?
Chatterverse, at least. Like,
He is.
I've heard
I
a lot
understand.
of good things, only good things ever about that guy.
Good guy. He, like I
Mhm.
said, I met him in AC. Really, really good guy. And Johnny Payton,
Not that
number
my
8.
word means shit, but I've only heard good things about him. So
Yeah, no, he's never been.
I never met him. I don't
I've
know.
never heard him as a troll. The only thing, and it's not even negative. The only thing I've heard about him was he was a friend of Ray's, and then he wasn't. Um, but I don't know if that was because that was like David Sky Parker, or I have no idea
Who knows? Yeah, it
with
could have
these
been him.
names.
Yeah.
So Johnny Payton, number 8. Schmuel, did you see Little Mirror and Dr. Chow shout you out on their show with Dave S? I did not. I didn't have not seen the Dave S show yet. I have been asking Chow to come on this show forever, and through Mint Diggity, and he requires a third party of some sort.
What do you mean
He had to
third
check
party?
with people. Chris
Mhm.
Mack, thank you, man.
What's that mean?
Chris Mack, David Skywalker.
Check
And
for people. Check people to get onto Schmuel's show. What's he talking about?
Whoa, what?
You said Chow had to check with people. To get
Yeah,
on?
he had to.
Why?
He had to check with people. He had
Who?
to. I just do this real quick. Cupcake, Peter Sky, PSP is a good dude. I met him in Vegas, hung out for a while. Really solid guy. Same opinion. And I met him. I probably did meet him in Vegas, but I didn't recognize him. I met Mason and I met like a bunch of people in Vegas who I'm sure I'll recognize when I see them, but I have no idea what their names are.
How would you recognize him if you never met him though from the internet?
Well, I'm sure that I met him at Hackamania because we were all hanging out.
Yeah.
At some point.
Okay,
So
I got you. Yeah.
um
You don't remember after the fact. After you met him, saw him once, don't remember.
like
yeah.
well, the thing is people got introduced to me and it was a lot of people, right? So like I might know, like, to look at you, I would know we met, right? Like kind of
Right.
thing. Like I would, but I wouldn't, but I don't remember your name. And I'm good with
Totally.
names, but
No, I get
not with names in the Dabbleverse names
No, I get that. I get
or
that
Hackverse
100%.
internet
Yeah.
names.
I call my kids the wrong names all the time. Like I call one the other kid's name, and he's like, "Dude, what the fuck?" You know, it just happens.
My mother used to do that. And she would get so pissed off at points. She'd go, "Whatever your goddamn name is."
I'm not even pissed off. I just always like mix them up, call them each other names. Then I'll call my dog's name too, and the kids' names. You know.
Yeah, the worst thing I've ever done in that regard is call my wife by my ex-wife's name.
Oh, that could be an issue. I get that.
You know, and apparently it's okay if you do it when you're yelling, like if you're mad at something, and then they're like, "Oh, he was mad at her, not at me."
Yeah.
But then when you do it when you're trying to say something sweet.
No, yeah, or in the middle of sex. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I'm not that bad.
You say the ex's name at climax. Oof,
Yeah,
not a good thing.
Sherman.
Sherman.
My ex-wife was she was an open mic comedian. We'll just call it that. And we were doing a show
No shit. That's
in
interesting.
Manhattan, and the host was reading the list, and he did this great introduction, making up all sorts of shit about the Tonight Show and Colbert and all that stuff, and then he introduced her as Sherman, and that name just sort of stuck, so she's been forever known as Sherm
That's
since
funny,
then.
dude.
OG Nick, is Schmuel outside? Do I sound like I'm outside?
No, not now.
Not now.
Maybe
and-
you look like you're outside. How?
OG, that's my what do you call it? My ultimate goal is to be outside. I did Dixon's show last summer from outside. I've told this story again too.
It's hard, man.
And
The mic picks up all the outside noises.
and I could hear everything perfectly. It was great, but when I listened back, the sound of the crickets was unbelievable.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
So,
I can't do it. I would hang out outside on Discord a lot but I would be outside, and I would even take a nice mic outside. Doesn't matter. All the crickets, all the fucking frogs, everything.
yeah. So there is supposedly
impression
a
of frogs.
mic made for doing it outside, but I haven't
Yeah,
heard.
yeah,
And I have,
like a nice mic, like a big puffy fucking muffy thing over it.
the wind sock.
Yeah.
I have a what do you call it? I have the Pocket 3, which comes with a DJI mic too. It's a
I don't
little
know
gimbal
what that
cam.
is. Is that a camera?
And
That's a camera.
That mic is
Pocket 3?
amazing, but it doesn't work well with StreamYard. But it's the only mic I've used outside that doesn't pick up any of the sound.
Wait, what is
from
it?
other
It's
stuff.
the Pocket 3 is a mic for
The Pocket 3 is a camera.
Oh, camera.
It's
okay.
a small gimbal cam,
Right. Okay, I remember now. You told me about
and
that.
and it comes with when you get the creator pack, it comes with the DJI Mic 2, which is their, I think, most recent
Well,
version.
you know what you need with that. If you're gonna do like live streams, you get like a little Bluetooth lavalier mic with that puffy thing on it, like.
So
clip
that's
it on
what
your
this
lapel mic thing. Yeah.
at some point I'll grab it. Yeah, except what happens with the lapel thing is I look like Stuttering John because it makes my shirt collar look like I
Well,
put
you
it
have to
through
think ahead.
my
You get a
big
shirt
head,
that
but-
fits right.
And no, it's not the, well, whatever. Anyway, and then it's the
Get a sturdy.
but then what
collar.
happens is I put it on my jacket and no wind sounds, no external noise except the rubbing against
Oh, that's the worst.
my jacket.
That's
But it
the
works
worst.
great in my car. I put it on the seatbelt and it works great. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I fucking hate that shit.
Exactly. Oh, this is you drop your green screen accidentally and you were at your commercial facility garage. Oh, storefront chill space. Yeah, that's my office. I'm not there tonight. But
Wait, are they trying to dox you? Like they know you're fucking
No,
whole
I have
property
my-
here. What the fuck
my-
was that?
per Peter Sky Parker and a few other people, my office looks like it's set up like it's a studio. It's very I don't have anything really personal behind me. I have some paintings and stuff, but nothing terribly personal. But you guys just reminded me I did not, just for the fuck of it, because this annoys the shit out of everything. Let's do this one. Let's see if that works. There we go. Approved by the Dabbleverse Podcasting Guild.
I've never done like a backdrop. I wonder if it would work for me. Let me try.
That is, I used Adobe, like Photoshop or something, and I just made that up one day. And I only made it up because there was somebody
Ain't
new
gonna work.
who was broadcasting, and they were up on Twitter, and I wanted to do something kind of dark. No, yes. No, not a dox. It was a compliment. It was not. Yeah, it is nice. It's a
No,
nice.
I know,
it's,
Johnny.
It's a really nice background. Yeah. So, MBS, or when you say your wife's name while having sex with your mom,
Oh,
yeah,
that would be rough, dude.
I'd be sticking it in ashes, pal. Sticking it in ashes. Oh man, when I went to
I don't
bury
even
my
remember my ex's name, dude. I've been with my wife for so long. I can't even remember my. Well, I do remember it, but I would never say it out loud.
Well, I remember
Voldemort.
my ex mostly because we were still friends after, right? Not like friendly. She had moved south, and but my then fiance, now current wife, was like, "Why is your ex still a Facebook friend?
Because you're
And-
friends with people.
And why are you texting back and forth?"
Because you're friends with people.
Yeah, it was cool, but I also had a tendency to drink, and then
Well,
call
you
up
know what?
exes and other people. So it was like probably not a good idea. And then we took a break for a long time. But
Well, I mean, this is also another ex that is telling you this shit, so that's the reason she's an ex probably too, right? She was nosy. The fuck? Get out of your shit, bitch.
no, this is my wife. This is my current wife. No,
Oh, the wife
she's
now? Sorry.
yeah,
Miss
she's
Schmuel. Sorry.
she has no sense of
Sorry.
personal space. Zero.
I'm sorry for that.
Zero. And it's
No
it
offense.
took a long time to get used to it because I was so
What do you mean? Like she'll like go on your phone and like dig in?
she would, but she would pick up my phone to use it. Like she wouldn't think twice about it.
But you got nothing to hide though, so you really don't care.
Right.
Right?
But the
Yeah.
but the other thing too is it's like I don't like being questioned. So it's part of that. So she must have seen like I must have had the text open on the on the screen. And I'm like, read it. If it read it. Go ahead. There's nothing on there. And
If she ever brings up anything and she sees like Dabbleverse related, she'd probably be like, "What the fuck is this, dude?"
oh, she sees that stuff. She just doesn't. She totally doesn't get this universe.
Yeah.
But when she meets the people, she likes them, and she
Oh,
just
that's right.
doesn't.
She was
Yeah,
there,
it's just-
right?
It's blown her away that such nice people could be involved in the Dabbleverse. Like, don't
Well,
they
yeah.
have better? Don't they have better things to do with their lives?
Everyone's nice when it comes down to it. When you meet them in real life, I've never met a bad person from the internet.
Yeah, I don't know that bad people travel to events and stuff.
Probably
what I
not.
mean?
Probably
You
not.
know?
No.
Like, I picture not all of them. I'm sure there's some of them that are crazy, but I picture a lot of them as cowards. You know,
Yeah.
like the big fat guy sitting behind his keyboard calling me fat.
But some of
stuff-
them even show up though. Some of the big fatties do show up, and then you're like, "Oh, what's up? Oh, I knew you were a big fatty."
But they don't. Yeah, but they're not mean or vicious.
No,
just
they're
nice
very
guys,
nice. Yeah, yeah. They just want to eat some potatoes. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of there are a lot of big people on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, in the world, lots of biggins.
Right. But some of these guys are
You
very,
don't look
it's
like a big guy. You
surprising
look like
to me.
not like you're not. I wouldn't say you're like malnourished, but you're not a fatty. You're like
No,
average.
but I'm also 50 pounds
Average.
lighter than I was
when you were
back
drinking.
in August. No, I wasn't. I was just eating and
What's
not
the
moving.
heaviest you've ever weighed?
227, I think, and I'm 5'8".
Oh, all right, dude. Me, same thing. 220 is my heaviest. I'm 5'10". 220 is my fattest I've ever been, and I was so uncomfortable. I couldn't put my socks on. That was like
Yeah, you know what happens is like you get used to it, but then you start noticing like fat things. Like you always know what you can. If you didn't look at somebody and you just looked at shoes, you could always tell the fat guy because the bows are always over on the side of the shoe because they can't
Oh
bend
yeah,
down and
oh
tie
yeah,
it
dude.
down.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But I've always been a very skinny dude, and like growing up, like people were like, "Oh, you should eat." Like you should eat. I was always like very thin, but then for some reason, I was watching The Sopranos. I was eating a lot of gabagool, and I was drinking Bud Ice, and I got up to 220. And then but then I realized it one day. I was like, "Holy shit, dude, I'm fucking fat." And I'm looking at pictures. I'm like, "This is fat, Crumb." And then literally like 4 months later, I was back down to like 60.
yeah, not me. I I don't
fat.
drink, so I consider myself an alcoholic. But I think I have like that obsessive, compulsive thing.
Oh,
with
totally.
Stuff, you know.
Yeah, I could see that in you.
And food would always be, that was like my comfort. And then
Me too.
you do drink, and then you wind up with like I would wind up with like crazy shit. Like I would wake up in the morning, and my kitchen would be a complete mess, and there'd be like chips all around it. I didn't have them in the house when I went to bed that night.
What?
So I had to go out and have gotten it. I would go out and buy stuff and make nachos.
Oh, that's
and then
dangerous.
not remember it until the morning. Yeah. And but I
That's-
was laughing because when I got married, I just don't keep stuff in the house, right? Because that's one of my ways to do it. But my wife had like a pint of Ben and Jerry's in the freezer, and I ate it. And she's like, "How could you eat like? How do you eat a whole pint of Ben and Jerry's?" And I'm like, "How do you not?"
Easy.
And she's one of those people like, "I need some ice cream," and it's 1 teaspoonful, and I'm like,
Yeah. I'm that guy now. I can do that. I have like, because I can't really eat ice cream, but I love it. So I'll have a little bit. But back, at some point in my life, I would definitely eat the whole fucking pint.
I'd eat it. I have a friend of mine who, guy's probably 5'10", maybe, and he was up close to 400. And
Damn.
yeah, and it was crazy because like you'd go out to eat with him, and he would be, "Hey, hello, Genta, welcome." And you go out to eat with him, and he would be like, he had a girlfriend, and he would get like coconut cream pie and shit like that, right, to take home. Oh, I'm taking it home for the girlfriend. Taking it home for the girlfriend. The chances of that ever having made it in the house were slim to none.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah,
and then he'd like, and the girlfriend was telling me he would like go out. She said, "Oh, he'd go out with you," and he'd say, "Oh, you guys just had a salad, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we just had a salad." And then he would eat
A steak.
more stuff. So
Potato.
let's Johnny Payton. Johnny's been pounding away here. Johnny blocking anyone is whack, and for Stuttering John's World. Yeah, I haven't blocked anybody yet. I think the only thing I would do is if
I've blocked people.
it were overtly well, I could change. Some of them
I mean,
are just
some people you have to block. They're just annoying. You just don't want to see their shit.
Right.
I block a lot of corporate accounts on Twitter.
Oh yeah. I'm talking about Twitter. I block people. That's
Twitter's
that's
muting too. I mute a lot of people. So
I mute a
they,
lot.
They don't know that you block them. That's the
right.
best.
My biggest problem with Twitter and people are I have some friends who they repost everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, Dave Smith, and you'll see reposted, and and it's like, dude, I number one, I don't want to see it, and number two, if I did want to see it, I've already seen it, and now I'm seeing it again, and
I mute those motherfuckers. Mute. If you
crazy,
clog up my fucking timeline, I'm muting your ass, dude.
And he's crazy political stuff. All right, I gotta grab a hat because this light is killing me. Hold on.
Get it.
That light shines off my bald head, and it's brutal on my eyes. Or I could just turn down the light, right?
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Johnny Payton, who asked this question already. Boys, please go to 5425. Amir Musk, yes, good week. We constituents really want it.
I guess they were talking nice about you. That's what he was saying earlier.
Oh, I am currently in the I don't know who Little Mirror is mode. So
I mean, he's a dude that he does a podcast with fucking Dr. Chow. Before Chow ever was doing any podcast with anyone else, he was with Mirror.
I remember them in the beginnings of my Dabbleverse experience. They were doing paid interviews.
They would pay people for interviews. Yeah, they've had a bunch of people on their show. Yeah.
Right.
But
it never seemed to get
they've
them
they've had Dave on the other day, and then they had Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid on.
Mm-hmm.
Mirror, I think, is homosexual from Idaho, is what I heard at some point. I don't know if that's true.
I thought he was like a married guy from Canada.
See, that's what I'm saying. We don't know what's going on.
Or something. That's what I mean. I don't know who he is. But
definitely saw some rap that he did, but I thought that was like gay rap from Idaho.
Sorry. When he first came on, he had very like cutesy pictures
Right.
That I thought were a little femme. So I
Yeah. I mean, and we know who Dr. Chow is. He's Dr. Chow. I mean,
yeah, I don't really know. You know what? They were into the Ray stuff, going hard on Ray, and
Chow does not like Ray for sure.
right, and
Yeah.
it was just like after a while, it was almost like they were trying too hard
Try hard.
to go after Ray. It was like, every little
It's a
thing.
business model for Chad. I think him and Chad and Dr. Chow got a nice little fucking show going off of I guess a pedophile allegedly fake documentaries about Ray. So good for them.
Oh, the whatever that guy's name was, Sheckler stuff.
Yeah, the Sheckler. I mean, that's basically what Chow and Chad's show is, watching Sheckler videos.
Hey,
About
Johnny
Ray.
Payton #8. What's the name of the channel? So
Sounds
you will
great.
do it.
We should start a show watching Doom videos.
Yeah, I do have a couple of Doom videos loaded here, but I
Yeah,
actually have
it's
Doom
great.
and Stallion loaded. But
Nice. Let's get to him eventually.
yeah,
Read Johnny Payton. Who's Johnny Payton?
I don't know who Johnny Payton
Walter
is.
Payton's brother.
Oh, Mirror Musk. Yeah, I think they shit on me here, but all good. Because yesterday was the current state of the Dabbleverse.
Are they shitting on you? Well, watch it, dude. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't really care either.
I
but
know you.
hold on.
I know you don't give a fuck.
I'm like, I gotta figure out which one it is.
Why would you? Why would you care?
Deep
Right.
breathing deep. You know what?
Is that me? I'm
No,
breathing
it's
deep.
me. It's
I'm a heavy breather.
yeah, I'm too, but I have I have like a bit of a nose whistle.
I'm just always a heavy breather.
Where's my
I try to.
dude? No, I'm trying to find their channel. Because what happened is I put them in, and Ashley Cummings' channel came up. Mirror Musk, is this it? That's MGD. Dude, I don't know what their channel is here. It's funny.
Here, okay, I'll send you the link.
Oh, I got Little Mir. Oh, there it is. Hold on.
Yeah,
Maybe that's it.
Lil Mir, LIL
I got it.
MIR.
I just got to find the video. With Dan from Nice Podcast. Is this the one, Johnny? Johnny?
Yeah, I don't know which one it was.
I don't
Or
think
was
I
it
can
the
get
one with
links on
Dave?
here. Deeds.
What is this? There's like a thing in the chat. It's like share your referral link.
Oh, that's the fucking that's StreamYards saying they'll give it's like, oh, if you buy StreamYards, they'll give me $10 off, and I don't know how to get rid of it.
I can't get rid of it. Yeah, it's just annoying. Fuck you, StreamYard.
And this is a paid for.
And you pay for it. Yeah, exactly. But they're trying to advertise to your other people's.
Yeah, I know, but fuck you. I'm paying you. That's the reason why I'm paying you. I didn't want the goddamn logo.
Right.
And
But now it's trying to get me to buy it because I'm on here. So it's like, hey, so I'm gonna hit the link just to get rid of it though.
yeah, and you do that, and then
Sorry, man. Derailing the show about links.
no, it's all right. Ozone Schmuel goes live against NLO and MLC. Look at the balls on this guy. Ozone. Ozone, I go live every Tuesday and Thursday, and I have to be consistent regardless of who's on. But I would prefer not to go up against Melton and MLC. I don't care, but going up
Are they
against
on right
MLC.
now? We didn't
but,
know. We didn't know.
MLC. Well, I don't. If I knew, it wouldn't matter. I thought Melton was off, but I guess he's still on. But It
Well,
is
they don't
what it
have
is.
consistent. He doesn't have a consistent schedule, so that's his fucking fault, dude. You didn't know.
No, I don't care. But I don't. The whole point is I don't care. I wouldn't intentionally counter program somebody else. You know,
Right? Someone you
unless I
respected.
didn't like them or I didn't have anything to do with them. But
Yeah.
you know, these guys are on at random times, and you know, I'm not going to sit. I did that one night with
Right.
somebody else was asked me to come on a stream, and then they kept asking me to wait till somebody got off, and I'm like, dude, I can't. I don't have all night to do this. All right, I am at 5301. Okay, I'm going to play it from
Who?
there. This is Mir Musk. Share screen. I'm assuming it's the one with Nice Podcast Stupid that we're talking about. And Dan and I talk, so hopefully he didn't say anything shitty about me either. But
father or my dad. Like he is kind of like a dad-like figure, which probably why I like him. He reminds me of every old Irish fucking extra
Is that you?
drunk.
I don't know.
You're talking about you?
Maybe.
Nonsense that was going on, but I don't know. I mean, like I never streamed with him, but yeah, he's wild, bro. Actually, I got something for you, Dan. I heard a conspiracy theory that like you, the final boss, and Bachman are all like related or something. Like it's like a grandfather, like Papa and a son or something.
Who was the third one in that?
Bachman, final boss, and you.
Final boss does look like he could be my kid. He does look like a junior Dan, and he's probably as equally annoying as I am. So yeah, I could see that. Schmuel is he's not my dad, but he's spiritually, I think, spiritually kind of. He reminds me of like my grandfather or my dad. Like he is kind of like a dad-like figure, which probably why I like him. He reminds me of every old Irish fucking extra drunk. Like pretty much every old Irish guy is like, you're either an alcoholic or an ex-alcoholic, and he's gone through his 12-step program. So it's always funny. He's been telling more and more stories about how he used to black out and he would wake up and he had like reached out to like every ex-girlfriend and sent him all these like awful texts and stuff. And
are you salesmaning us right now? Because I'm gonna
No.
start getting pissed off if you are.
No,
'Cause
I'm-
people are
I-
saying. Go ahead, Chad.
Oh, he's doing what's his sales tactic on Bachman? I want to touch on that. Actually,
Yeah.
that's one thing I will say is like his takes. I don't agree with what he's like, his read on what's going on with things. But when he tells his old stories, those are entertaining. So, and that's what makes a person, interesting. So I got to give him credit for that. He's telling stories on his show that are usually funny. So
He doesn't like your hot takes, dude.
No, I know. Oh well.
I saw this. This is pretty funny. What was it? There it is. Hey man, you're funny.
But
as fuck.
what are
I love
Chow's
that.
hot takes?
Anyway,
I like
So-
watches. I like watches.
what's your name, Dan? I love you, buddy. Chow, you got something right here. What is this?
Is that
yeah,
it?
if you don't know who he is,
Oh, there we
this is
go.
who he is.
Oh, this is Dan. I mean, Schmuel.
it's my dad, Schmuel.
Yeah. You can watch a little bit of it just so because you probably
He does
never
have
seen
really
him.
intense eyes. He does this.
Dude,
look
this
with his
guy
eyes
is
that-
scared. That's Joey C's background.
Hyman
Yeah.
Roth. That
Whoa.
was the character from Godfather
Joey
2. He has
C's
kind
That was the point.
of like a
bro.
Hyman Roth thing.
Yeah, so we'll just
Oh,
watch like
shit.
I
30
think you actually
seconds.
say it too.
Live
Yeah, man.
from Joey C's apartment. It's Schmuel.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
he's hip. He's hip.
Special edition. I am going to be talking to American Cupcake about
All right.
Cupcake. Oh fuck.
and all.
I don't need to embarrass myself anymore.
Yeah.
There you go, Johnny Payton, number 8. You deserve it.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I mean, everyone is annoying in their own right with their own voices. Chow doesn't do anything like that. Like he's annoying. His voice sucks. We all suck, right?
I just used to get, Genta says, Chow's voice is annoying. I used to get it. I don't really watch him, but when I tried to in the beginning, I mean, he's got the hat on now and stuff, but he used to have like a darkish studio and it was from the side and he wouldn't look at the camera. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't. But
I mean,
I
Chow's
don't
a
like
character.
sticky.
He does his own little fucking weird character, and that's what he does. You know, good for him.
Yeah. So that's the character. So I
But
guess
his critiques are never good. They're always fucking blah. Like mine is right now, probably against Chow. He's blah. That's all I got.
yeah. I honestly, I don't know that I've seen a stream of his in 2 years. And it's
I
not
don't watch
anything against him. It's just not like, I didn't
No,
find it
totally,
interesting.
totally. It's not. I mean, there are people. I don't know many people that defend Chow. I've never heard someone say like, "Oh, I'm a Chow fan." I've never heard that. I haven't. I've seen people say I'm a fucking Schmuel fan. Never heard someone say I'm a Chow fan.
I know
Not
that
gonna-
they do
Not
a
gonna
lot of.
lie. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I know they do a lot of. He does a lot of stuff with Chad.
With Chad, but it's they just watch Sheckler's videos, and then Chow is good on shitting on people. That's his brand. That's about it. All he's got, really. And
I
then doing
gotcha.
a show with Mir, in my opinion, my humble opinion.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean,
yeah.
that Sheckler show. I try to watch it one time, but first of all, it's all bullshit. Sheckler has some fucking dumb clips he gets, and then he has some stupid fucking voiceover, AI voiceover from like the 20s, educational videos. And it's all bullshit. It's not even funny. And people are like, this is the best shit I've ever seen. It's like, what are you talking about? It's not good at all.
The only reason I think,
opinion.
I shouldn't say the only reason, but the only reason I think people find it funny is because of the reaction it gets from Ray.
Yeah, but okay.
Right. And then beyond that,
But
they're
then now
too
he's
long.
a pedophile. Now no one wants to do business with him.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You do find people that are obsessed with somebody else generally have something that I don't know, there's like a reason why they're obsessed with them, and it's not usually a good reason. That's why that guy Alex Rosen, you know who that is? The
Yeah, the pedophile hunter.
pedophile guy. Yeah, like I find him
Yeah.
fucking creepy because I'm always like,
Totally.
you're too fucking interested in this,
100%.
and
And he's like 25 and he looks like he's 45. It's weird.
yeah,
too.
you told me how old he was the other night.
Yeah,
I think it. And
steroids.
I was like, holy shit! Like he's bald. He looks
He's
rough for a
40
guy at
something.
that age.
Yeah.
He certainly doesn't look like the guy that I would want be defending me.
No, I mean, there's a whole fucking market on catching pedophiles, and then some of them turn out to be pedophiles, the pedophile hunters. Some of them are pedophiles.
Well, that's like the biggest arsonists in the world, the volunteer firemen.
Yes.
You
Oh, that's so true too, man. I knew a guy in high school who was a volunteer fireman, and he literally told me he sets fires so they can go put them out because there's never any fires in our town. So I set some. I'm like, wait, what, dude?
Genta, we're moving on very quickly. That was it.
You can't do that.
Yeah, no.
I turned him
that's
in. I turned him in. He got kicked off the force. All right.
Oh, really?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. This person should not be a volunteer fireman who's setting fires.
It's really common. It's like
Honestly.
more common than you would think,
Yeah, totally, dude.
And,
People are
you know,
fucking nutty.
Well, some guys do it just to get chicks, but
Firemen.
which is the New York
Yeah.
City Fire Department has changed so much in the last 20 years. The whole point of becoming a fireman was that it's dangerous, but it's not 9/11 dangerous, right? Like, you don't usually have a day like that. Most guys come back
Hopefully. Yeah.
every day. And the pay was never great, but
You're
the
fireman.
benefits were unbelievable. So every one of these firemen, and I grew up with all these guys, every one of these firemen had a second job. And it could be anything from an accountant to a contractor. A lot of contractors in the fire business. And they would do these things called mutuals, and they'd have days off. And so they could like do a job for 5 days, and then they would work, 4 or 5 days in a row. And that was the big reason why a lot of these guys became firemen, because the pension benefits were great. and just a lot of government benefits, right? Like you got it was all right, and the pay wasn't bad, but I mean, it wasn't like you weren't making huge amounts of money. And then they would get overtime and all this stuff. But what's happened over the last 20 years is that it's turned from that job into an actual job. And so, like, the guys that are on a lot of the guys that are in the firehouse now, that's their only job. And that's what they do. And they're dependent upon that job for everything. And in the past, it used to be like, you did that job so you could have another one.
Were they
And
pay him enough now where they don't have to get a second job? Is that what you mean?
well, they've gotten ever since 9/11. I mean, they've gotten more money, but also because of who they recruited, right? Like the thing with firemen was it was very familial, right? Like you had fathers and sons and
Oh, was it?
uncles and everybody knew the program. And so that's the way they all did it. And
Yeah.
now what happens is these guys are pretty much working one job and they're complaining. And the thing about the fire department used to be the joke was I had a friend who was a doctor and he got through medical school by agreeing to work for I don't know if he was agreed to work for the city of New York or for a government job, but he had to do a job like that for 3 years after he got out of medical school. And he worked at New York City and he would do disability examinations and stuff for cops and firemen. And his joke used to be that a cop would come in with like a hangnail and be like, "Ah, doc, I can't work. I can't work. I can't work." And a fireman would come in and he'd have his arm hanging by a thread. He'd be, "No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine." Because the deal was if they were out on disability, they couldn't do their second job. So, but it's a very different, it's just different now. It's a different environment now than it was back then. It's become, they've just recruited a different type of people.
Would you say DEI kind of shit? Like, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I mean, it's
Trans?
definitely more,
A lot
it's
of
definitely,
tranny
no, it's definitely more
firefighters?
diverse, but the deal is they sold it as a job. Like, this is your job. You are
Well,
a
it should be.
fireman.
It
That's
should
your
be a
job.
job. Yeah.
Not that this is the key to a better life. So, my brother was a fireman. So when these guys retired, they all retired really well. And just plenty of money, great pension, the whole bit. And the guys now that are coming close to retirement after serving 20 or whatever it is, they're basically, their money is the money that they earned from working for the city. So it's just it's a different world.
Yeah.
Look,
I'll
I have a
never
friend-
retire myself.
You say that, and I've said that too, but it's not true because I am shit chair. I am sort of semi-retired at the moment, heading more into retirement, and I always would have liked to work. I like what I do, but it's just too much after a while. And
No, I mean, I'll just never retire because I can't afford to ever
Oh.
retire.
oh, you don't know that, maybe this guy
You
Trump
never
you
know.
like will make sure that you can, retire,
Yeah, I'm waiting for that
And li-
$5,000 he was saying he was going to give
And-
all of us.
live a great life. Hey, look,
Yeah.
the last time they gave us money, it gave us all the inflation. So
Yeah, exactly. No,
but that was
I
the-
would
that-
I would never bank any financial anything on a fucking president. They all blow. None of them ever helped me.
Now, and what's interesting is in different countries, I could have it wrong, but in Australia, they have a thing called like super annuitization, and so you have to put away so much money, and some of it is like our Social Security where it goes in the government, but a bunch of it goes into these private funds,
All right.
and
So they can make money on them.
their retirement thing is significantly better than what we have. But
sure it
in
is.
America, whenever we've talked about doing that, they'll always go, "You're privatizing Social Security. You're privatizing Social Security," and people are scared of that for some reason.
Dude, our country's fucked because all those other countries do have those safety nets for people when they get older, and we don't have any of that. If someone that doesn't have like a great job and they just work like as a waitress or Target or Winn-Dixie or Publix or Walmart, whatever that for their whole life, there's no 401k for them as an hourly worker. Like they're fucked when they get on SSI and then they have
Well,
like $600 to live on a
look-
month.
I mean, look, not to get into
They fucked,
political
dude.
discussion, but this is what happened when you transferred all the factory jobs overseas, right?
Well, you're
So-
muted. I can't hear you.
Am I? I'm muted? Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me in the chat?
I am in
Interesting.
Florida, Johnny. Is it
Interesting.
me? Did I mute? I don't know. I
Maybe you
can't hear
did?
you. Can the chat hear?
Hold on, Crumb.
Maybe it's frozen for me. I'm frozen. Maybe it's me. No, it's
Test,
me.
test. The world says it can hear me. Yeah, we can hear me. Hear me? It's you,
Yeah, I'm
Crumb.
gonna leave and come back. I can't hear you at all.
All right. Thanks, Johnny Payton. Johnny,
Oh,
I'm gonna
It's
I want to
uploading. Upload in progress.
disagree with this. Johnny Payton, number 8. Love hearing about people working hard 2 or 3
can't hear
jobs and then
anything
remember
but,
Ray just grifts for super chats every night. That's incredible. Ray doesn't grift. Ray does what Ray does, and if people want to pay him, that's their business. It's not it's not our money to decide. Crumb, I'm going to remove you because
recording.
oh wait, there you go. I can hear you. Can you hear me? All right. Let's let Crumb come back in. It's a Crumb issue. We need Peter Sky Parker here. Yeah. So like, look, I don't begrudge these guys making money. Doesn't mean I have to watch them, but I don't begrudge them. I do feel kind of bad for like Kevin, right? That he's doing like what is he doing? 2 shows a day. And it's, he's got like Stevie Lou and Chad and whatnot. He may have set up a poor business model though in the beginning when he said he was going to pay people. And then there was that expectation. So, and now that, the super tips or super chats are drying up, that may be a problem. So, that may be why. Johnny Payton, Schmuel, Ray's show is so low effort it boggles the mind. I'm allowed to say it's a bad show and that people donating are foolish. Yes, you are. And I'm allowed to say that I don't think it's grifting. That's the difference. And, that's my feeling about a lot of this stuff, like with a lot of the Shuley complaints and whatnot. Just don't watch his show. That's the solution to that problem. And that's the thing with me with like Joey C. Joey was funny for a while, but then it just became
When?
like performative. Well, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I should say funny to me. Right? And
No, I know. Sorry about that, man. Something popped up. It was like updating.
No problem.
StreamYard.
we're all good. We're all good. It's because that referral link you clicked before.
Probably, dude.
They're
Who
going to
knows?
come back.
What did I miss though? Joey C. We're talking about Joey C. now.
I just said, Johnny Payton thought that, or says that Ray is grifting because of his low effort show. And I'm like, my attitude is, it's not, if you're not forced to give the money and Ray's not promising you anything he's not giving you. That's for sure.
I don't
So-
think Ray has intent to grift. I think there has to be an intent to grift. And some of these shows have the intent. And I think Ray just, he looks at it as part of his craft as a comedian, that he's got to go do his podcast. Because that's what, in his mindset, in this day and age, he's got to do his podcast. And it brings him money. So he's not grifting. You're paying him for entertaining you.
Right.
In his mind. That's
Right.
my opinion.
Johnny Payton, number 8. Ray does not apply himself. I am not
I think I
allowed to
explained it.
comment on that. So, I think with a lot of these guys, this is the thing. So last year, I had a run-in with Joey C online on Ray's show, and then we tried to talk, and I thought, oh, I'll help. You know, I'll try to help Joey C out, like get a little organization into his plan and all this other stuff. And the problem with Joey C and with I think with a lot of these guys is they've got a million ideas and none of them ever go into effect.
Yeah.
And it's always like the next thing is always going to be better. It's going to be whatever is next, whatever's next, whatever's next. And then with Joey specifically, he lies to himself, right? When he talks about, we can see how much money he's making. You can see the playboard, right? You can see what's coming in, and there's just not a lot of money. And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, so it's like, don't tell me you're making, 50,000 when you're making 1,000. And making 1,000 a month on YouTube, doing what he does, is fantastic.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
It's a great thing. But I think that happens with I think that's what happens with a lot a lot of people. I was talking about this to a friend. When I was in the military, we did some pretty interesting stuff, but we didn't do like amazing stuff, you know? We weren't hanging from the sides of mountains, rescuing people, and it wasn't what we did, and I wasn't in a great combat or anything. And there's a couple of people, one friend in particular, well, guy I serve with, who tells these stories that are somewhere, between Vietnam, World War II, and nuclear Armageddon, and his place in them. And it's like, but what he did was very cool. Like on its own, it was very cool. This guy was, in the Aleutian Islands as a medic. He was and it's like, but it's like the story has to build. He's gotta make it more, make it
Exaggerating.
more. And the exaggerations it becomes bullshit,
Yeah. It stains the actual fucking story.
All right, let's do our chat.
Like Joey.
Did Ray tell Schmuel he can't? No, he did not. He did not tell me that. Ray and I are fine. Ray and I talked. What do you call it? I will say this. I don't really want to talk about Ray, but you know what? I didn't do this show. I did a lot of this to avoid talking about Ray. And I think a lot of people, their content is Ray. And I didn't want to be doing the same thing and saying I wasn't, I didn't want to be like complaining about Chow and Chad shitting on Ray all the time. And then I'm over here shitting on Ray. So
they do a fine job at it. They're good at that. You don't need to, and you're friends with Ray. You're not going to shit on Ray.
So, and I do, I the other night I read a text that Ray sent me during the show. I think you were here for that. And people got mad at me for doing it, and I shouldn't have done it, but the text wasn't about Ray. It was about me saying something about Ray and 5 people texting Ray telling him that I'm shitting on him like a bunch of little tattletales.
Yeah, people are
that was my point, but I can see how
texting Ray to say, "Oh, hey, did you hear your friend Schmuel saying things about you?" It's fucking gay.
All right, and let's go back to. By the way, Schmuel, thank you for your service, bro. Bullshit. I'm sorry, man. I was in for 4 years. I did a little bit in the active reserve after. It's fine, right?
It's more than most people.
I get it, right? And I get it, and all that stuff. But I'm really tired of the age of the Uber veteran.
That is annoying. Yeah, totally.
And it's like nothing makes me cringe more. I was at I was gonna say the Silver Dome. I don't think it's called that anymore, but in New Orleans for the Final Four a few years ago, and it was like, will all veterans please stand up? And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, And young guys who've been, recently back. Yeah, you guys can stand up.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
if you're
lost
in
a
Vietnam,
leg.
stand
Stand
up.
up.
But guys
Yeah.
like me, I didn't do shit. You know, and
Hey, at least you're honest about it too, man. Like you're not. Do
no,
you
I
ever
mean it
try to
was
get
a
your
great
free
time.
donut at Dunkin' Donuts with your card? Like, oh, I'm a veteran, man.
I don't do it. The only thing I hate free stuff. Right? I don't know why, but I hate free stuff.
I'm the same
And
way.
I just
Get
it's
your
like
free fucking shit on your birthday.
like
Fuck that, dude.
I don't mind. I'm not saying like if we were walking into the Super Bowl and they were giving out a bag to everybody who attended, that's a different story, right? But
Yeah.
if there was a veterans booth that I could go over and get a free button or something, I'm not going over there. And it reminds me of Denny's. Remember, I don't know if they still do this, but Denny's on your birthday, they used to give you a free meal.
Yeah, a bunch of places
And
still do it, dude.
And
Yeah.
I was in there one time and it was my birthday. And I was laughing because my girlfriend at the time was like, there were like other people who went there just because it was their birthday and they wanted
Yeah.
their free meal.
I know
know?
people who do that. They go on their birthday, they go from store to store getting free shit. Like, oh, free sandwich at Chick-fil-A, free fucking drink at Starbucks. I get a free fucking thing of makeup at Sephora. I know people that do that. No joke.
Yeah, no, my what do you call it? My wife
Free
is
shit.
in corporate America and she's totally into the free shit. Now,
Coupons, free
the
shit.
deal is no,
fucking-
not
yeah.
that stuff, but more like I can't tell you how many bags we have, how many of those like metal coffee cups we've got.
Stanley's.
Yeah, so they've given it. Some of them are like, look, some of them are really cool. Adobe gives out.
I'll
some
take a
good
free fucking coffee cup, man.
Adobe gives out some good shit, right? But then every now and then you get like
bet.
a Citibank will give out like a plastic cup. It's insulated, but it's such a piece of shit. It's like it's best left at the facility, and those will be here. I had to go through the whole house one day and just get rid of all that shit. And she wouldn't let me get rid of it. We took it, we put it in a box, we put it in the basement, and then one day when she wasn't looking, I dropped the box.
Dude, I've done that. There's many a donation bag has snuck out of this house for sure.
And this
No
is
one notices. No one notices.
but this is like, and I don't really get emotional attachments to anything, you know.
I do.
I not to objects. Like I don't.
Some
you know?
objects I do.
No.
Yeah.
And like some people do, and there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. My
Right,
wife
right.
can get real emotional attachments to shit.
Oh yeah.
And I am, if I turn, I will look at a china closet that is a piece of shit when it was bought in the 70s. And it's still a piece of shit today, but it
And you hate
belonged
it.
to my wife's grandmother or her grandmother or something like that. This thing will be, until I die, this thing is going to be prominently displayed. And
I
there's
have-
nothing I can do about it.
I have shit like that in my house right now too, man. It's just like, why do we have this? Oh, because my dad liked it. Get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Right. Right.
I
get,
want to
like,
toss this in the trash, bro.
Tax returns from 1993. And you're just like, what the hell do we need this for? And,
Dude, I
it's
have
just,
I have like a priest's like altar, like not an altar, his pew. It's like a fucking like, almost like a. I'll send you a picture later. You can see, but it's like a fucking throne. It's a big wooden fucking throne from a church that this priest would sit in, and my father-in-law fucking got it. So now it's in our house. What the fuck?
so when I was a kid,
Crazy people.
Ozone, do you mind if I steal that story, Schmuel, but say it happened to me? No, I don't. Feel free. All these stories
We're
up for
sharing
grabs.
here, Ozone.
Yeah.
You should share like a nice story, Ozone.
All these stories are up for me. So when I was a kid, we had what was called a deacon's bench. So we had a Catholic priest in the family, and the church that he had, I don't remember whether it was a fire or something, but the church was being rebuilt or whatever. And they had this deacon's bench that, like, I guess the bishop and those guys or whatever, maybe the deacons would sit on it during like a high mass or something.
Probably deep.
And it was a
yeah.
beautiful piece of furniture,
Yeah.
but we had to have it in the house. And
Got it.
this thing, through my childhood and through my adulthood, I don't think ever left my mother's house. And what had happened was the priest took it, and there were crosses on it, like crosses on top, and then there was a cross in the middle. And he took those off and he sawed this thing off, and then like DIY'd it out. And it really destroyed it. Like it just made it look
Did
like,
they-
oh, a deacon's bench that we're just gonna, atheize. And
Did they put like some kind of like?
no, nothing. They just left it. But I'm just like laughing
Swastikas.
because my mother dies, and now we've got this deacon's bench, and my sister is the deacon's bench, and nobody wanted it, but it was also like they didn't want to throw it away. I literally couldn't give this fucking thing away, and I finally got one of my clients. This time was Ecuadorian, and I think he was a landscaper. I think he took it and cut it up and used it for firewood. But
Dude, it's basically like what I have in my house right now. It's not a deacon's bench, but it's very similar. I'll send you a picture.
so
But
it's-
that was
yeah,
the same
it's-
kind of thing. It's like, oh, my wife's like, we have to keep it. We can't get rid of it. No. Oh, no.
So Brandon Deft. It would be funny if Schmuel is lying now. He never served. I can promise you that
They're
I'm
going
not.
to try to find out for you, Schmuel.
They can find out. It's actually pretty.
Where's your
easy
W?
To find.
Your W214-995.
DD214.
Where is it?
DD214.
Where is
Yeah,
it?
that's the form. That's the form.
Your
To give you an
1099s, where are they, dude? You never worked for a fucking priest. I heard you talking about priest benches.
So my wife just bought a car, right? She buys a Hyundai about a month ago. And they're
Tariffs.
fucking us around on the deal and everything. And she's nickel and diming the guy on the money. And it turns out there's a $500 military discount.
Hell yeah, get it.
And I'm like, she's like, I see the paper and it's got this $500 discount on it. I'm like, oh, he gave you the discount. Well, you have to send him your DD214. And I'm like, I don't know where the fucking thing is. And for the next 48 hours, I had to like scour the house and my office and every place else looking for this so she could get her $500.
Did you find it?
So, oh yeah.
Nice.
It was exactly where I thought it was, which was what blew me away. It was also the last place I looked.
Of course.
So this is the
Hell yeah, dude.
best, the biggest benefit I have from having been in the military at all is I get free parking at casinos. So
Ooh.
this
they do
is the
that?
thing. MGM, if you've served in the military, I guess their base level where you pay for parking and everything is Sapphire. But if you were a veteran, you get moved up to Pearl.
Hell yeah,
And
dude.
Pearl gets you free parking. And that's the only thing that I've ever really dug out my veteran stuff for, because I was like, I can't be paying $10. And it was like, and then it was $10 in Atlantic City, and certain things I hate. And paying for parking at a casino is one of them. It's just such a ripoff.
Yeah, parking is annoying. I mean, I kind of cheat. My mom has a handicap little like placard, and in my city, if you park in public parking with a handicap thing, it's free. I throw that shit up there when she's not with me. I mean, I know it's bad, but I do it.
Like stolen valor.
I'm not parking in the handicap spot. It's just a regular spot, right? But if I have that placard there, I can park for free. So I just throw it in there.
Dr. Chow, the Mega G, Buckman muscled that salesman. I have to tell you, man, I am a pussycat compared to Mrs. Buckman. Mrs. Buckman is boom, boom, boom. Those poor salespeople, that Hyundai dealership never wants to see us again.
Yeah, I can't. I'm a fucking pussy at that shit too, man. I'm gonna pay you more.
Right. No, yeah, but she's, well, I figure everything out before I go there. And then I'm like, no, this is what I want. And I don't want to negotiate. Like, I'm just like, this is what I want. If you can get me this line, I'll do it. And she will go through the whole negotiation thing. So
I just bought a car myself, but did not do any of that. I just bought it off someone I know. They were getting rid of it.
Genta, for a $500 discount, I'd find it. Yes, Genta, we
Totally.
did.
Yeah.
But what happened is with a lot of these things, there used to be, I guess there are way more veterans than there used to be. And a lot of these companies have changed their
They
veterans
verify shit,
discount.
dude. Yeah, they don't
Well,
fuck around.
Verify is easy. That's easy to do because they have like Verify Me and all this other bullshit. No, but what they've really done is they've changed the rules. Like Lexus used to, if you're a veteran, you used to get a $500 discount or whatever it was, a rebate. Now you have to have been discharged within the last 5 years,
Oh.
or you have to be retired from the military.
Oh, right.
Which the retired thing seems more reasonable to me, but
Yeah.
um,
I don't know, man.
just-
If you put your time in, you're a veteran. You served probably during a war, right?
nah,
No.
nothing important. I didn't do anything important.
Well, when were you in? What year was it?
I was, Dad, I don't want to say because I don't really want to dox
Okay.
myself, but
Gotcha,
Reagan was
okay.
president.
Oh, so there was a war. So you're good. Grenada. Grenada,
here's-
bro.
I wanted, somebody said something here. I wanted to, wait, where did I see it? Oh, I must have looked at Peter Sky Parker. You should have looked there first. Yes, Peter, you sound, you and Mrs. Buckman
True,
could have gotten
true.
together and said that. And,
Look there. That's where it is, always.
Ojeda would have kicked my ass, Dr. Chow. Who would win a brawl, my buddy Ojeda or Buckman? Ojeda would have kicked my ass, and at any time, you know, in my 60s or in my 20s, he's a buff guy, and he's also fucking crazy. So you know Ojeda? Do you know Ojeda? Crumb?
No.
He's he was an army major, and he's a political guy. He's on John's show, Stuttering John. He's
Oh,
one of
that's
his
Army
political
Major guy?
guests. Yeah,
I've heard the
But
name
he's-
Army Major
he's
guy.
batshit crazy.
That's your friend? You're friends with
He
him?
was no, he's not my friend. He's Stuttering John's friend. And Dr. Chow, he goes on
Oh, that's what
SJ
Chad's
show, and
saying.
he's always talking about
Okay.
kicking people's asses and stuff. But he's
Gotcha.
batshit crazy. He just reminds me of like one too many artillery shells went off next to his head. It's he's like absolutely nuts. And he was what do you call it?
John's like that, and he never went to war, so who knows?
But Ojeda's like, he was a state senator in like West Virginia, and then he wound
No
up getting
shit.
in a road rage fight, and he beat the shit out of somebody, and that's how he lost it.
Damn, that's crazy.
But now he's
dude.
running for he moved to North Carolina, and he's running for Congress in North Carolina. Big Democrat, although he voted for Trump. So
He
the
ain't got a
sto-
shot in North Carolina.
the story is that Trump called him a wacko or a nut job or something.
Sounds like it.
And that's what created the rift, and he got over there. No, dude, I don't agree, Dr. Chow. That's not. Don't get things confused here. The man
Hero.
the man is a hero, and we can argue about who he fought for and whose interests were really behind American military intervention. But the man himself is a hero. But you know, he may have protected us, but they sure as hell didn't protect him.
You know, I mean, a lot of these guys come back with some issues. It could be an issues he's got, but elect him
A lot
to
of guys
fucking
with
Senate.
a lot of guys with issues go in the military. I mean, I was one of them.
That's true too.
It's like, why did I join? Because I wanted to get the fuck out of my house. You know, that was the reason. It was like just to get away. And
There was a time people they had no choice. It was like they just got taken, and thankfully we don't have that. So you know, but I do appreciate the people that just volunteer like yourself.
Genta, you can be a hero
issues
and
or not.
fucking nuts. Exactly. The two things are not mutually exclusive.
No, not at all. Most of our heroes are nuts, I would say. Hmm.
Well, it's part of what makes them heroes, right? Because a normal person wouldn't do what they were going to do.
Like Trump, he's kind of nuts, but he's a
He's
hero.
crazy. He's batshit fucking crazy. But I got into a huge argument with Dixon because I said he wasn't a hero, and
He's a hero. He got
that
shot,
was like going
dude.
on here. What I really mean is he's not my hero. Like I don't think that
No.
he's the guy that's gonna like. This guy was not going to come into office and change everything in your life and make it better. He wasn't going to, and it's so naive. This "Make America Great Again."
I love
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
it's a
there was-
great slogan.
There are. I'm not arguing that. It's great. it's great stuff. But we like every society, we do have issues. There are places that I wouldn't want to go back to. So
Yeah, but
yeah.
I think he was talking about the good times.
Well, they weren't good for everybody though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that's the
But like the good for them too times. Maybe not for them at the time, but just think about it if you were involved.
well, right. I think what
Let's
he's
get back
trying
to
to
that.
say is we want to go back to making it a land of opportunity.
The 50s?
To
No.
make the 50s weren't great for every, but the whole deal is you had like, look,
60s?
if you were a white guy, yeah, but you had like, there's amazing stories of how banks would conspire against black soldiers who were eligible for the GI Bill. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff,
Oh, dude,
but
yeah,
there's
yeah,
right.
awful
So
shit, awful shit.
and I'm not, I'm more anarchical. I can think I said it right, anarchical than anything
Sure.
else. But I'm just saying that nobody is nobody's going to save these people. Dr. Chow, you are a
True.
white guy dummy. No shit.
You
So
are?
I can
I
see
thought I didn't think
things.
you were white, dude.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, a lot of people don't think I'm a white guy. So, but that's the deal. So we spent an
I
hour
think
and
Dr.
20
Chow
minutes.
is like a Native American, right?
Is he?
I don't know. Dresses like it.
I don't know. I just always thought he was like, a curly-headed white guy from Minnesota, right? And so you got family money right there, Chow. So with all those watches or something. I never know. You hear these stories about people, and you never know whether they're true or false, or even if you heard them about that person, because maybe they were talking
Right.
about somebody else.
Right. Like I said, I
So-
thought he was a Native American.
Yeah, part native. Cool.
See?
So last fall, I was out in Arizona and Utah and those places. We went to Bryce. We went to Zion and these other places. And in Arizona, we took a tour on Navajo land of these vertical caverns, or vertical caverns, vertical canyons, I guess they're called them. But in any event, they're
Like
straight
like
up
built into the fucking mountains.
they're in the mountain and they're formed
Yeah.
by water flow and rain and floods and all that shit, right?
Oh, I was thinking like
But we're in there, and Darren was our guide, and he was Navajo, and he kept saying Indians and Indian culture and Indian and whatever. So I had to walk up to him afterwards as I was giving him a tip, and I said, "Hey, man, what's the deal with like Indian? Is that like a word?" And he was laughing because he said the only people that care about it are white people, you know?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. So
I believe it. Yeah, because it's woke white people, Democrats.
Yeah, but whatever. I mean, you don't want to be like,
Yeah, I'm
look,
just
you don't
joking.
want to be, I don't want to be, you don't want to be insulting,
No.
but at the same time,
I would say
you
I
don't
would have
want
said
to also
native.
deny things. So
Well, my best friend is he's First Nation, which is like because he's from Canada originally, so that's like their natives are called First Nation. So like they don't even there's different names for all of them anyway. So I like First
I,
Nation. It's like, oh, you're the First Nation. I get it. I don't
well,
know
you're
what that
not really
means.
because you emigrated here from Asia, so like that's the whole
Right.
deal. I had
But
a,
he's
a
actually American, but his dad was First Nation, so he just and he looks Mexican, and I just call him the Mexican. So
so a Jewish lawyer I knew once said he was talking to me about this stuff, and he said that he always puts down black on on any form, and I'm like, how do you do that? And he's like, he goes, let him tell me there was no Tyrone Schwartzky running around Africa a million years ago. I just in any event, I thought that was funny. All right, so the news of the day is Steel Toe.
is it? What we got
Yeah.
on Steel Toe?
So
What'd he do?
he pled to a gross misdemeanor,
Ooh,
then
that's gross.
came on his show and was seemingly apologetic, and then he went on to he was on MLC with Brennan, Keanu, and Micheline. So the four of them are on the show together, and I
You
was
got
like,
a clip?
man, how the mighty have fallen. I don't have any KB clips because he, he
I got rid
deletes
of
his
it.
shows after,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this might play for a couple of seconds. This was Melton. Melton was sniping him, but I don't think Melton's live anymore. But let's see what we got. See if this works at all. No, I guess this. Oh, wait. Yeah, so the stream is down. So all you got to see was
Wow.
the picture of them together. But
No, I saw something on Twitter that they were all on with Kiki and Aaron, but I didn't know that he had a court thing today
yeah, so he pled to a
for the
gross misdemeanor
the thing
and
with the wife of Ricketta.
yeah, sending out the
Today's
pictures to Gino. But he
the
so he
Bush.
sends out right. He did that whole thing. Oh, your boy didn't do too bad, or whatever the fuck he
Right,
said.
right. Yeah.
So he sent that shit
Check out
out.
this gross girl.
Right. This is what he wound. That is. I just closed the wrong window. That's what he wound up pleading
Gross
to.
misdemeanor. So no jail time. I was
No
hoping he got
jail
20
time.
years
I mean,
to life.
it's punishable by up to a year in jail.
Does he have
but-
to register as a sex offender? I was hoping for
No.
that also. Nah, damn.
No, because it's just dissemination of a private consensual image.
Okay, good.
So,
All right. Okay, sure.
It's like not. It's not. It's not a huge deal. He
Should've
got.
been-
He literally did. He got
it's
a
a sex
$50.
offense.
He got a $50 fine. And anyway, the deal is he pleads guilty. The deal he has with the prosecution is no jail time, but he has to go through the pre-conviction investigation that they have. He has to go through a domestic violence investigation because there were accusations of him with his ex-wife that he had choked and
Choked the bitch
headbutted
out.
April and something else.
Excuse me. Yes.
But the judge has to accept it.
It's a
But
gross misdemeanor.
what I'm being told is by people who would be in the know have said to me that sorry, I'm doing something else here. Have said to
Do
me
it.
that 9 times out of 10 the judge accepts what the prosecution has offered the defendant. So, there are a shit ton of people hoping that Toe gets, that he's going to get jail time, he's going to get this, he's going to get that. And the judge could deny
No.
the deal, but
He ain't gonna get shit.
I don't think
if
that
he
that's
did
gonna
jail, it'd be like 15 minutes.
right. Chris Mack, he pled guilty, and the deal says right in it he can't talk about Kayla or Kata, but he was talking about her this afternoon on MLC. I don't think he was. I did watch it. I don't think he was talking about it, but they were talking about it, and he was.
can't talk
ducking
about
down.
her delicious sniz, and he was
Yeah.
not talking about her sniz.
Yeah, but he's not allowed. He's not allowed to mention her or say anything about her. But they, Kevin, of course, was asking questions, and he was trying to be cute by saying when they
I
like
hate
Kevin
that guy.
asked if the four of you were in bed together, he was like, I only know 3 people involved in this,
No.
and then when Kayla came up, he would duck down behind his desk like he wasn't part of the show. He's not supposed to be
So funny, dude.
on any show. But somebody said earlier they hoped something happened to him.
No.
But this guy's like, he's slimy, man. He's just gotten
Yeah.
away with fucking everything.
I don't want anything to happen to the man. I hope he's fine. Yeah, he just should go away. Maybe. It's funny that like Kevin, yeah, Steel Town, he's the worst. Let's get him on as soon as I can.
Right.
Kinky, you're the worst, Kinky. You want to come on my show?
But that's the like, we'll get into, I want to get into Kiki in a second and Gino, but
Kinky.
Chris Mack. The thing is, he already had a restraining order put on him by his first wife. Well, one of the conditions was he couldn't mention her in his show. He violated that and pled guilty to it. And he got a 90-day suspended sentence for that, which he's gone through already. That was from December of 23.
I don't think they
And-
care in Minnesota about the shit that he does on the internet. They don't give a fuck because it's such a waste of court time. He talks about you on the internet. Get the fuck out of here.
See,
If I was a judge, I'd be like, I'm going to put you in jail just for wasting our time. Shut the fuck up. Go to jail, bitch.
I think he cares. I think if I were sleeping with your wife and then I sent a picture off to a friend like he did,
These people are fucking weirdos, dude.
I think it would be a big deal. But
It is. It's weird.
The Recatas
but like,
have all these pictures out there, right? They've got the hedonism stuff. They've got everything else.
right. So why should it clog up the court's fucking time for this bullshit? It's dumb. You agree with me on that, right? It's dumb.
That they should not clog up. Look,
Yeah, like it shouldn't
normally
be
I would say
court
yes,
shit.
but
Like,
I
this
just
isn't
hate the
court
fucking guy
shit.
so much. I'd like to see him do something.
Sure,
I'd like
but they're
to see
not going to do anything. It's going to
No.
be just maybe we'll get a video from the internet, but we can't get that even because the judges are onto that now, so you can't watch the Zoom.
Well, they've got everything. I think that
It's fucking
I ju-
lame, bruh.
yeah, we don't know what's going on the Recaita side of the fence. So we don't
And
know what
nor
the
do we.
prosecution was doing. We don't know who was going to testify.
Right.
But he's
Nothing happened though. I mean,
he's so stupid. Well, I don't want to say nothing happened. I mean, he's got a gross misdemeanor. He does
yeah,
face
yeah.
potential jail
No, I
time.
meant like nothing happened with that. They didn't show up to fucking testify like this man made me feel, dirty or whatever.
Well, they didn't have a
Like,
chance to do that. She filed the complaint.
They should have.
And
Why
that's
couldn't
well,
they?
but you didn't have a chance. They filed the complaint, and the county prosecutor filed charges.
But here's
know?
my problem with this whole situation too: is that Nick gets off like, oh, he's like he's like, oh, he got April, he tagged her, but fucking Aaron still fucked his wife too. That's even worse. You let this man fuck your wife. This big tittied man fucked your
Right.
wife.
But I don't disagree with you, but apparently that was not a unique circumstance. Like I don't think
I
Aaron is the
guess.
only person that's tagged that during the term of their marriage, right? This is not like a one-off with
No,
Nick
I
and
mean
Kayla.
it's their MO, dude. They're a bunch of weirdos. Nick was grifting online, pretending like he's some fucking righteous Christian guy with his family of 5 kids, and he's just a fucking weird swinger, fucking people's wives and doing coke with his kids in the house.
Yeah,
Scumbag, dude.
but that doesn't make
Made
make
$1 million
Aaron,
off
doesn't
it.
make Aaron any less of a piece of shit.
No,
That's
I
my-
agree. They're both pieces of shit.
That's my point in this. This
But
is not
like
a,
Nick, but
this is
Nick's
not
getting
a
an
I like
invite.
Chad, so I can't like Ray.
No,
This
I agree.
is-
I
I can
like them all
dislike
equally.
two people at the same
just
time.
like
I'm
them.
allowed to do that.
No, I get that, and I dislike them equally at the same time. But like Nick gets a pass. He's getting invites to fucking Hackamania, and I get.
Well,
I mean,
Aaron
no,
got
no
an invite
offense.
to Hackamania.
Exactly. No offense to Patrick. He's just trying to get the people out there, and God bless him. It's beautiful. But Nick's still a piece of shit.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I agree 100%. I
we're all
thought Nick
pieces
got
of
off
shit
easy. I
in
thought
our own right.
Nick got off easy too, but I'm not picking winners
No,
and
I know.
losers in this thing. I also think that
know.
Aaron's a fucking rat. You know.
I agree.
And
I agree.
and
We're saying the
that's
same things. I'm agreeing with everything you're saying.
I
by
think
the way.
he got himself in April, and all these people, they got themselves into a situation they didn't know how to get out of. And Aaron didn't seem to have a problem with all this stuff as long as he was part of the event. And then when he got kicked out the door, all of a sudden he found his righteous indignation. So fuck him.
No,
and,
no, you're 100% right. You're 100% right, dude. There's no, it's just it's so weird, and we all like talking about it. It is good fodder for the canon, The Devilverse enjoys the shit out of this. I get all sides of it. I get all the hate on every side. I get why everyone hates them, and then I get why people might like them too, which is weird.
This
He's
is
into that
what do you
stuff.
call it? Mintiggity. He's into that stuff. I think we're talking about Ricada. Yeah, he is into it. And
God bless him, man. I mean, I'm not dissing the dude. He had a good life going for him, and it sucks for him that I got exposed. But that's what happens when you hang out with weirdos like Aaron.
well, you lie down with dogs, you get fleas, right? I mean, this is like look, but the eventual when guys get into like particularly coke and ketamine and stuff like that, this is the inevitable end, right? They either die or they wind up in prison, and it's going to happen. And
I've never done cocaine myself. Have you ever done that?
it's the most fantastic drug on the planet.
I've never done it.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Never addicted to it, but man, it's such a great drug.
It wasn't part of your problem. It was just something you would do if it was there.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think I can't tell you. I've only been sober like 8.5 years. I couldn't tell you the last time I did cocaine before that. It had to be 20 years, right? 25 years, something like
Okay.
that. But as a young man, it was a lot of fun. Not only did Aaron, this is Chris Mack, not only did Aaron have a problem until he got kicked out of the orgy, he started pulling strings to actually get their house raided and their kids taken away, albeit
So weird.
temporarily. Yeah, so it's just like they're all a piece of shit. That's the
Yeah.
deal. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
they're
we
all
are
a piece-
agreeing.
and I'd like to see them. I would certainly have. I don't know. I would like to have seen them gotten more. I hate these fucking traditional Christian guys that are doing all the shit behind closed doors and whatnot. I would have loved to have seen him gotten slammed. And I'd also like to see Aaron, Mr. right-wing conservative, you have to pick yourself up by your bootstraps kind of guy,
Right.
who's off snorting coke and,
Yeah.
fucking this other guy's wife.
Neglecting children.
Right.
He fucking. I heard someone said that he was saying he would roll up his dog's poop with his foot because it would poop on the floor. Like, what the fuck? That shit grosses me out. Like when people won't clean up after their pet or their dog, or they just neglect their dog. They're not a good person. You know that they're not good. That bothers me.
So I was in. I'm
You
by.
got any pets?
Have you seen? Yeah, I have a dog. So have you seen I don't know if you've seen my swan pictures, but I was walking my dog by swans, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew you had a dog. We've talked about
so
your dog. Yeah,
this
that's
woman
stupid.
walks her dog over, and we were walking away, and the dog takes a shit, right? And she starts walking away, and I'm like, "Excuse me, excuse me, you need to pick that up." And she told me to go fuck myself, right?
Dude.
I started
hate
yelling
those
at her. So it's
people.
like, well, it's small town New Jersey, right? And there's a cop is coming down. The cop car is coming down the street, and the guy's like going. He had nothing to do with us. He was probably just driving by, and she looked at the cop, and she came over. I was holding up a bag, and she came over and grudgingly grabbed the poop bag from me, and went and picked up her poop. But
Damn.
the reason why I
hate
more than
them.
any other is because I like taking my dog to the park, and my dog gets banned from every fucking park because these people let their dog shit and they don't pick it up, you know. So
Why are they banning your dog then?
not my dog necessarily, but like in a lot of towns now, you're not allowed to bring your dogs into the park. Like dogs are not permitted.
What?
Yeah, yeah. Like in New Jersey, near Asbury Park, there's like a town park. No dogs allowed. It's a $250 fine.
Just like it's not like a dog park, but just even bringing your
No, just a
dog
regular park. Yeah, but you can't like walk through.
with a dog.
You know, you can't walk through with a dog. You're not allowed to have a dog in the park.
Why?
And yeah, that and you can't smoke.
Well, yeah,
Those are
I've
things-
seen that trend a lot of places. Not in
Yeah,
Florida, but
I wanted to go back to my buddy Peter Sakai Parker. Raise your hand to speak. This is becoming BYB.
I saw that and I was like, yeah, he's right. We're over.
I was
talking
like,
each other.
that's the last thing I wanted to do was become BYB. But we were criticized the other night.
That was the argument phase of the show. Yeah.
Right. We were being criticized the other night because we were talking over each other.
Well, there's 4 people too. That was a lot of people.
Right. And I generally try to control stuff more. But and I'm also used to having Dave. And Dave is like trying to herd a cat. So
Yeah.
I'm constantly on guard, and I doesn't. Let's see what Chris Mack says. The observation was regarding Aaron, his utter lack of integrity. He went along with everything with no issues until he got forced out of the little sex party. Then he went all vindictive woman. Exactly, Chris.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I think he needs to get.
Yo, Detroit. Yeah.
That's why I think he needs to get. What do you call it?
Chris always has a good take on shit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like Chris's take, but what I'm saying about Chris's take is the take on Aaron, at least my take on Aaron, and I agree with Chris, is independent of my take on Rekieta.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think, Melton likes to talk about the zero-sum game, right? I don't think if Aaron winds up spending a week in jail, that's a win for Rekieta. I just see it as a loss for Aaron.
No. Yeah.
And Aaron is one of the few guys, and I don't know why, but he's one of the few people in the Dabbleverse that actually gets my blood boiling. Like I get viscerally fucking angry watching him. And nobody else does that happen to me with.
I
It
get
used
that
to happen to me with
with him.
Gino, but
Yeah, and KB does that with me, honestly.
yeah. I just don't know. I think KB's just an act, though. I don't know. But somebody got very mad
But
at me
even the
today.
act is, maybe he's living rent free in my head.
Yeah. So somebody
Garage.
today, I might be able to find it real here on notifications. So I did stream snipe Kevin for a couple of minutes. Just
No,
for
I
shits
saw
and
that on
gigs.
Twitter for a second. I thought I saw that. Yeah.
Just for, and then what's his name? Scared me, Echo Pineapple. But anyway, I
Why?
put up because he said make sure it's transformative, and I just
No,
called it
X
the
doesn't
less.
care. I think X doesn't care.
Yeah, I know. But I put up less than zero. That was the name of it. That I named it less than zero.
It's a
And so
great movie.
Jefferson Darcy on Twitter responds to me. We could probably put this up. I don't think I'm gonna dox myself with any of this shit. Let's just see here. Share. Can you see that? Yeah. Well, you can't really read it, right? So anyway, this Jefferson Darcy guy is you're 65 and think he has fallen for ST. He's fallen for having ST on because you're a Melton fan, but Melton isn't wrong for having Rekieta on, a man whose children tested positive for cocaine. And I that was my my thing was I responded to he was responding to my comment of how the mighty have fallen.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's And then, so I just wrote back and I just put every former SNL star dreams of one day hosting a podcast with Keanu and Steel too. Yep. KB's right up where he wants to be. And that's my like view on it. It's like you're KB. You've got this is like you've been reduced to this, you know?
No, yeah, how the mighty have fallen, like you said.
And then, but just what pieces of shit, what do you call it? Keanu is as well, right? Friends with April, tried to make bank off April and her problems. Then he complaining about Steel Toe, never paying them. He's a piece of shit. Then they're friends with Steel Toe again. And then she is saying that Aaron's texting the picture of a naked Kayla was no big deal because Kevin Brennan revenged porned her, putting up her naked pictures, and nothing happened to him, but yet she's back on his show. They're just detestable.
Yeah. No, yeah. They're very wishy-washy, flip-floppy, and I don't think they know what they're doing. They're just trying to get traction somewhere is all I can gather
Right.
from it, maybe. They need to get, they'll do anything they have to, maybe to get onto something. They're probably fucking so stoked they got onto MLC tonight.
Well, they got to be desperate for relevancy, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is their life, their livelihood. They're YouTubers, and the Dabbleverse is probably the only thing that they really have any traction in, and the Dabbleverse mostly hates them. So I mean,
Yeah, because
I don't know. Gino is a fucking. He's not fun or funny or entertaining to me at all. I don't know. And Keanu is fucking annoying. I don't watch their shit, so I don't know who does. But I think that's what they want us to watch. I don't know. We probably have more viewers than they get.
Well, that's kind of the funny thing. They're just, it's like, I don't know. This is my thing, and this was my thing with Stuttering John and with other people, is it's like, what price is your dignity worth? Right? Like,
Yeah.
What would you, and I see these guys, it just feels like they'll do anything, like Gino would walk naked and, down Broadway in Manhattan if somebody would give him $100, it's like, that's what we would do.
Yeah.
Her lack of moral, this is from Brendan Deft, her lack of morals allow her to go where the wind blows with no guilt. Yeah, it's pretty insane.
And then bring her mom along with her, like dragging your mom out with you onto Kevin Brennan's show, just putting her into this fucking awful sphere. Like, why would you do that to your mom?
What do you call it? But her mom is the draw.
What?
Her mom is the draw. Hold on one second.
Entertaining.
Bo Beardington,
Like, this is
hit
the thing.
like button. Yes, everyone, please hit the like and subscribe.
KB would rather have that lady on than you and I. I mean, yeah, maybe she is more entertaining than us, I guess. But like,
she's more of a
he
draw
was
than
shitting
Keanu
on us,
is.
like, oh, like this guy wanted me on. But you have fucking Keanu's mom on, KB.
But Keanu's mom has paid her dues in the Dabbleverse. She's been here for a year or more.
Okay, sure. I mean, great. She's fantastic. She's super entertaining.
No. I'm just saying she's more entertaining than Keanu, and she certainly makes.
I wouldn't know.
If you only had a very slight ability to watch Keanu by herself, when she's got her mom on, that doubles. Now it may not double to a lot. It might be 1 doubling to 2. It might not be 10 to whatever. But Michelin, I kind of like Michelin. I dislike the.
Are we doing Terrence Howard math? Is that what we're doing here?
What's Terrence Howard math?
1 + 1, or 2 × 2. I don't know, dude. I don't even know. His math was wackadoodle. 2 × 2 doesn't equal 4. or 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. I don't know. It's something like that.
That sounds like new math. That sounds like
It was new
at
math.
school.
He discovered some kind of new cube too. It's crazy
Ah.
shit.
Is that why he got booted from the Iron Man movies?
No, I think he left on his own accord.
Oh, okay.
I think he's just a little wacky. Yeah, he's a little wacky.
Yeah. Frank, Michelin is great. I like Crumb, but I'd take her on a show over you. Yeah, me too. But she wouldn't co-host with me. Kidding.
I'm sure a lot of people would, but you know, that doesn't say anything good about you.
No. Yes. 1 × 1 = 2.
Right. It was the times.
Right.
That's what it was.
There
It wasn't
we go.
Pluses. It was the times.
There we go. The one that always got me when I was a kid was multiplying 2 negatives equals a positive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a
That
high
was the
school
first
dropout,
concept I
so-
had trouble wrapping my head around.
Yeah, they all made my brain feel weird.
I enjoy them now. It's funny now because it's particularly around May, a lot of kids just they don't learn math, like average basic math. So it's pretty funny because it's like if they didn't have the phone calculator, they wouldn't be able to do it. But they don't even have like a relationship with it. Like, oh,
dude.
if it's 30% off, right? Oh, if it's $70 and it's 30% off, it's $21 off. They'd have to get the calculator out to actually do it.
Bro,
So,
the math they teach my kids now is not the math that I was taught. It's completely different. It's all so much different than how we were taught. Probably way different than how you were taught for sure. You wouldn't even understand how they teach these kids math these days. It's weird.
yeah,
I got a bunch of little kids. Well, not a bunch. I got 2, but the math is very strange. And during the pandemic, we had to teach them. So we would get all this curriculum, and then they're like, here, this is how you teach them math, and it was completely different how I learned it. You know, just regular math. Very strange shit. Our kids.
Ozone. Let's talk about Melton buying a used Tesla. A terrible purchase, right? No, I actually think it's a good purchase.
I like a fucking Tesla.
If you know Melton, I think we're talking about it being used here. But if
Used?
you know Melton is really he's really a money guy. And like the Lexus that he bought a used Lexus because he could get a much better deal on it than the newer one, and it actually came with more stuff.
Sure.
But he's definitely he said it, right? He's the guy who's got he's got a used freezer in his garage that's he paid $100 for that's lasted 10 years. So
Do Teslas lose their value if they're like used? Is that how is that a dig if it's used? It's like buying a
Tesla
used
will
car,
not accept
right?
Teslas as trade-ins anymore. I
Oh.
don't know.
That's the problem he's saying.
I don't know.
So it's not
I don't know.
like he can't get it serviced.
I
from
don't really
Tesla?
know. Frank, this is
Frank.
what happens when you get old. You learn the difference between somebody really liking someone and somebody understanding someone.
So
Two completely different things.
yeah.
I would not buy a used Tesla because I don't like buying used stuff, and it's Datewell wants a Model X, but it's too small. I don't like buying used stuff because I am of the opinion that I'm buying somebody else's problem. But other people do, and they do great with it, and they probably have way more money than I do. So,
Yeah.
all right.
I
Well,
would
the
get a
Tesla
used one.
Cybertruck, I think is like the biggest troll of all time. Like,
It's ugly.
if you bought a Tesla Cybertruck, it's ridiculous. It looks like it's some artist rendition of a bad futuristic vehicle from a B sci-fi movie
No,
back in the
it's like
50s.
a dumpster.
And they're ugly, and they're huge, and whatever. But
They fall apart. They're glued together, by the way. Saw that
in the
video.
condo that I am currently in, we have parking garage downstairs, and the dude with the Cybertruck had to buy his parking spot from a neighbor
Oh, 'cause it's too big.
because it's too big to fit into one spot. So I don't know whether he bought it or leased it, but I mean, it's just like it's ridiculous, you know, like
There-
just so you
there's-
could drive the Cybertruck.
There's 2 Cybertrucks in my neighborhood. I see them in their driveways, and we all make fun of them. Try to key them. Oh, fuck you, dude. Elon Musk, Trump fucking sucks.
Brandon Deaf, people forget Elon bought Tesla. He didn't create it. Those cars are not his design, but the truck is.
No, that's
Look-
not true.
and-
He created it.
And it also doesn't matter.
Look it
You
up.
know, it's like,
Brandon's saying falsehoods.
okay, all right. All right, Brandon. We're going to have a
Falsehoods.
fact checker here.
No, I just saw a video the other day of him saying that's not true. He started it.
Yeah. Okay. But it doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Right?
matter to
Like
me
it
either.
just, it doesn't matter. It's like the, you know, it's like the claims of the person that said they made the phone before Alexander Graham Bell or the
Right.
pre-Edison stuff. It's like, yeah, you did, but you didn't do it. Like, you know, taking it to market and selling it is part of the process, right?
Yeah, who was that other guy? Do you remember his name?
Tesla?
No, the other guy that started the Alexander Graham Bell shit.
I don't remember his name.
Exactly.
It was, and it, yeah, the case went like all the way to the Supreme Court. I think that's the famous case of if he had turned a screw like a quarter of a turn more,
It's like
His-
a patent thing.
his phone would have worked better than the Bell phone, but he didn't.
But you don't remember. That was my point.
Exactly. Exactly.
You never
Right.
remember these people.
So, and you know, I don't know if we'll remember Musk, but we'll remember Tesla, right?
Sure we will. I mean,
He
he's gonna go to Mars, dude.
He gave going to Mars is not that big of a deal, right?
Oh, it's not. Who's,
No, like, we
who's
went-
done it?
You're talking about with are you talking about with men or
Yeah, with men. He's gonna bring people to Mars.
you
That's
mean
his
like
goal.
astronauts like going to the
Yeah.
moon kind of thing
That's
and
his
coming
goal.
back or
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's his
so-
whole fucking thing.
well, what's the difficulty in that? Like why is that any more difficult than
no
going to
one's
the moon
done it.
other
That's-
than the distance?
I don't know. I'm not a fucking moon Mars guy. I don't know, but he's gonna do it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, we took what 8 or 9 trips to the moon with you know, less power, less
I say we go
calculating
back to the
power
moon
than is in my
first.
mouse. You know?
yeah.
So
Is it hard?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably not. I think it should be easy, but I also like sci-fi movies, so I feel like we should already be like fucking way out there in space. You know what I mean?
Michaela, Musk is a virgin. That's why he's got 13 kids.
He is.
Yeah, he is definitely. That's the one thing he's not. But that's also my other thing too. Is like, you know, you've got like these right wingers, right? That are all Trump, Elon's great,
Yeah.
and they're you know the religious conservatives and all that stuff. And Elon is fucking everything that doesn't move, and just popping kids out left and right. So I think it's hilarious.
Hey, God bless him, man. He's he likes to fuck and have babies.
You know, I think it's great.
He's got billions of dollars. Why wouldn't he? I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, child care is not a thing for him. He doesn't have to worry about fucking child support.
Yeah, but childcare is not. Childcare is only part of it, right?
No, the ladies that he fucking pumps babies into, they love having his babies. They're rich.
Yeah, I know they love having. Well, look, I don't know that
Except for
having
one of his
I don't know that
kids.
having 13 kids with a woman you're not planning on spending the rest of your life with.
Oh, he's got
is
like
the-
several baby mamas.
The moral thing to do.
We're not talking about morals. Who cares about morals?
But oh, I do. I mean, I care about the kids. Care about the
The
kids.
kids are fine. One of his kids is a fucking tranny. He doesn't actually like that kid though.
Well, kids don't like him, but I mean, you have 13 kids, you're paying for childcare, you're not really parenting. Shocking that your kid's going to have mental problems, right?
Yeah.
And,
Listen, I don't judge people on their choices with their kids.
okay.
I don't care what they do.
See, but if he were having those kids and he were on welfare, and those kids were on welfare, you'd care, right?
No.
You don't so
Because
you don't
there's so many people, that I know of that do that. So I don't care about them. Why would I care about him?
Oh,
I know
I see.
people that are on
I care
welfare.
about them all.
I know people that fucking cheat the system and shit. Like that's not my job. I don't agree with it. I don't approve of it. But is it affecting me? No. Just like
It
Elon's
is,
not
but
affecting me.
it is because it's affecting your future society, right?
I mean, I guess, but I'm not like it, I don't try to fucking change those things.
So, oh well.
Because what can I
See,
do? What can I do? What am I gonna do?
I don't know. I think when you voted for Trump, you tried to change it, right? Isn't
No.
that? Yeah, I mean that's the system, right? Go back to the old days of a mom and a
No,
dad
I
in
just
the
didn't like
home.
fucking. I didn't like Biden. That's why I voted for Trump.
I don't like anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Did I think that voting for Trump was gonna solve the fucking anything? No. No. Probably make it worse, maybe. I mean, we might go to war with Iran. I'm worried about that now. I don't want my kids to have to go to a war with Iran.
yeah, look, nobody wants their kids to have to go to war with Iran,
Exactly.
and I'm also convinced that having a doddering idiot in the White House is the reason why there's a war in the Ukraine. But
Yeah.
I just think that numbnuts kept drawing red lines, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody on both sides thought that they would just walk over the Ukraine when the Russians invaded. Nobody anticipated that the Ukraine would put up a fight. The Ukraine put up a fight, and then these guys were fucked because they had to support them. They had no choice. So that's where
Yeah.
you go there, and then that's how we wind up with these like forever wars. Chris Mack, it is not very conservative values of him not to raise his kids with their mom. Exactly. Thank you, Chris Mack.
I don't think
And
that
as
Elon.
Crumb said,
It says
Chris
he's
Mack
a
always has
conservative,
good
though.
takes on everything. Go ahead.
But I don't. Elon doesn't ever say he's a conservative. I've never heard him ever say he's a conservative or like a religious person or like a Christian
I've heard
conservative
him.
or
He
anything.
certainly espoused conservative values.
Maybe
right?
like fiscally conservative, but I don't think. I mean, just
Socially?
we all knew who he was before he started hanging out with fucking Trump. Though it's not like this is new. His kids are like 15 years old.
Look, man,
Some of
I'm
them.
just trying to break your balls here.
No,
But
I know. I'm just saying. I never thought Elon was conservative. I just think he's a weirdo that sees things that maybe make sense to him, whatever the side of the aisle they're on. That's all.
yeah, well, I whatever. I just I laugh because it's like it's how the world everything changes in the world, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
If my growings up in lefty New York would have been if we could have found where the money was going, and exposed where the money was going, that would have been the greatest leftist value ever. But
Right.
because the other side did it,
Right.
it's not our value anymore, right?
Yeah. That is funny.
And that's the way it is because it's what we do. And this is like we're circling back to the Nick Rekieta and Aaron Imhoff thing is we think that we have to pick a side, and if we pick one side, we can't like the other side, and it's not really the way life is,
Right.
And
No,
like
yeah.
my choosing to eat hamburger tonight doesn't mean that I hate chicken. It's just that I wanted hamburger tonight,
No,
and that
and
was
I
what was
agree.
in the fridge.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of fucking, I did vote for Trump, so I guess I'm conservative. I would be pigeonholed in that, but I have a lot of friends that are not they're complete opposite. And that's the best part about life though is interacting with people that don't agree with you. And you try to like figure out a middle ground. Cuz you're never going to like what other people like, especially with these shows in the Dabbleverse. Fuck, dude.
Hey, look, I certainly prefer Trump over Biden, right?
Right.
But I'm not like, I don't think he's a savior or a hero.
No.
He was just the lesser of two evils to me,
I think the next election is going to be even crazier because, like, who do we have now? It's going to be new people.
Well, it's going to be
New
not
people.
right. It's not only going to be insane. It's going to be insane because unless Trump, see, I always thought that this tariff stuff was a shot across the bow, but I thought, and I also think that hooking up with Elon was a mistake. But it just looks like a giant clusterfuck. If he can't unclusterfuck this thing by the time November rolls around, it's going to be a very interesting time.
I'm fine with admitting that I have no idea about the tariff shit. I have no idea about any of this shit. And so, like, for me, I'm stupid. So I'm kind of just like, I don't know. I guess I'll find out what happens.
Well, one night we'll do, I'll tell you what, we'll do, because I don't
You can
really wanna-
educate me.
I don't want to derail the show with this. No, but one night we'll do a tariff, taxation, and
You have
animal
to explain them
option.
to me, though. Yeah. You
They're
gonna get
just
stock
taxes.
tips?
It's just a tax. That's all it is. It's just a
Are
tax.
you a stock guy? Are you like involved in the stocks?
I'm more of a mutual fund guy. So I'm mostly
Okay.
my money's gone into like mutual. I don't really follow the stocks. My wife is a stock person.
All right. Well, I could use
And
some
individual stocks.
advice.
I don't really have a lot of individual stocks. And here I am. I say I'm a conservative. And
I
think
have a
most of my money is in
401k with
Vanguard.
it's in mutual funds. I guess that's I think that's normal, right? That's
Say
all
that
I
again?
got. I have a 401k and I
Mm-hmm.
chose like the non-aggressive mutual fund option in that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends upon how old you are. That's like one of the things. Like
I got it when I was like 26.
when I chose one of these funds, I was like, one of the plans I was like 35,
Yeah.
and was like took the most aggressive plan you could take,
No, I'd
and
say I
that's
did the
great.
I did
And
the
then you get
opposite.
to 53, and you're looking at it going, "Oh man, the fuck," But I lost a shit ton of money in the 2008, 2009, and
Yeah.
luckily
That
I had
hurt a lot
time to
of people.
capture it. That's the problem now. Is it's having time. If you have time, you're fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not retiring for another 20 years easily.
So, in any event, all right,
You're getting closer to that age, right? You're almost retired.
I'm ready to retire. I mean, I would be. I would had COVID not happened, I would be retired.
That fucked you over.
I would be officially retired. I was in the process of.
What are you gonna do when you retire? You gonna like travel? You
I'm gonna fucking be on the internet 27 hours a day,
Schmuel 24/7.
just
Here
to
we
annoy,
go.
just to annoy people. My
Hell yeah,
ugly
dude.
orange red face.
Nice. No, for real though. Are you gonna like travel? Are you like traveling type? Is that like something you're interested in, or is that like nah? Some
Yeah,
people
I'd
don't,
love-
they have no interest in travel.
I love to travel.
That's what I want to do when I retire. Is just
Look-
fucking. I want to get an RV and just drive around the country.
Love to travel. See, I don't want to. I don't necessarily want to do that.
That's what I want to do.
I like to. My deal is I like to go places and hang out for a bit.
Yeah.
And like when we went to Vienna in December, my wife was like, she had to go on all the tours, right? So we're in Vienna and Prague, and she's got to go to the castles and all that other stuff. I wanted to sit like on the benches, man, and like
No,
watch
totally.
the town, and
Go to the
I went out
grocery
meeting
store. Fucking
stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the grocery store there is pretty wild.
That's my favorite.
Peter
thing
Sky
to do.
Parker. I chose to answer this question. Shmuel, serious question. What's the shortest amount of time in seconds that you exited one woman's hole and entered another woman's hole, asking for the chat?
What the?
I
Like same woman or different woman?
no, it's two women. The thing is, I had talked about threesomes on here one night, so that just keeps coming up.
So you're a fucking.
So the
swinger.
question is really not what was the shortest amount of time. It was what was the shortest amount of time without listening to the girlfriend complaining that I wasn't supposed to be fucking the other girl.
Ooh.
Let's go there. That was my point about threesomes, is that in any they just somebody fucking winds up getting jealous, and And then it's like, then you wind up with like 2 girls which is great, which is a lot of fun, but you know, you're wanting to like dip your stick and you're like, well, I get, I don't know, to use a John analogy, I get to eat that pizza every day. Maybe my little thing wants to taste some different kind of pizza tonight.
Yeah.
But the original pizza,
It doesn't
no,
like that.
we don't want you to do that.
Yeah, Domino's doesn't like when you're going to fucking Pizza Hut, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is I'm gonna close with this story. So the threesome story, there's a lot to it, but this is the best part of the threesome story. So I lived in, for you guys, not for me, but I lived in Astoria, Queens when this was happening, right? And I had a next door neighbor named, I'll just say her name, Mecca. And she was very attractive and also very fucking nosy. Very nosy, right? Well, in the apartments, my bedroom was up against her bedroom. In her, her apartment wall and my apartment wall. And so this threesome happens, right? And my girlfriend afterwards goes, Mecca keeps looking at me weird. Like Mecca keeps looking at me weird, like ever since this happened. And this one girl had been came over kind of regularly. And they were both like, she's looking at us weird. She's looking at us weird. And laughingly enough, Mecca never said anything to them. And then one day she ran into me to tell me that she thought the activity we were engaging in was immoral and probably illegal. And she was uncomfortable having to listen to it through the wall. And I was like, stop listening.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
It was great. It was great. And she eventually moved on, but not before letting the entire building
thin ass walls, dude.
She was just nosy and just couldn't help herself. But the super came up to me one day. The super's wife came up to me and said, like, who's that other woman that keeps going into your apartment? And I'm like, none of your business. A friend?
Yeah, right.
It was so weird. Just so weird.
PSP wants to know still, so how many seconds?
Oh, PSP, I don't know. I wasn't counting. All I can tell you was the audio was great. Especially
Leo
from
Gunn,
Mecca.
dude.
She could hear everything.
Leo had a good one too. Who knew you were such a fucking cocksman?
Schmuel was such a cocksman. Yeah, there was a day and a time. And I do have a...
Schmuel slings.
I do have a picture of me when I was younger, so we'll save that for another time. I had a buddy of mine pass away recently, and he lived in Tel Aviv, and we had a bunch of pictures we took together when we were in our 20s and 30s, and his sister found him in the apartment and sent him over. So...
Nice.
Oh, look at this.
Yep.
This TJ
is
this is Teamster TJ. Ah. I heard you call into Melton today. Am I wrong? And because I feel like you're the only person that calls in and says, hey, Patty. Everybody else refers to him as Mr. Patrick. And Mint Diggity, I have a thought on that. And that was my...
Squirters.
Yeah, and I swear to God this is true, but and I know when people ever say this is true, it's not true. My first girlfriend was a squirter. The first, my virginity was
lost to a squirter.
And
you made him squirt in your first time.
And I had
you.
Yeah, it's not. It turns out it has nothing to do with you. And I learned, but what do you call it? But that's what I thought was supposed to happen, right?
Oh,
And
they
then
would
it
squirt
doesn't
all over you.
happen,
Yeah.
and then you think you did something wrong. So, you know, and you didn't have the internet back then, and there was nobody you could ask. You couldn't go up to, you know, you couldn't go to your dad and go, "Hey, Dad, what's this squirting
This
thing?"
girl's pissing on me when I fuck her.
You know,
What's going on?
It's not piss. I can guarantee it's not piss.
You were like tasting
I've-
it. Nah.
You can feel it. It's like I don't say
Skunk spray?
greasy, but it's like a lube. Oh, like there's
Ew.
something in there.
Oh no.
And all right. I learned about the
Gross.
Skeens gland in human sexuality class back in the 90s. The sorcerer literally had to Google it last week. That's funny, man.
Leo knows the squirters, dude. Leo knows.
My human sexuality class was the dumbest group of students and teachers that you ever. I mean, I had a kid ask, and I thought it was a troll. We would call it this now, but I thought he was making fun of the teacher. And he asked the teacher, if you ate 24 pieces of, if a girl ate 24 pieces of bubble gum and then gave a blowjob, could she get pregnant? Something along those lines. And it was just like, swallowed 24 pieces of bubble gum and gave somebody a blowjob, could she get pregnant? And to this day, and it's
Only
years
if
and
you
years
swallow.
later, I guarantee you that he was serious. That he seriously was asking that question.
Yeah, it's a bubble-headed baby. That's how they come about.
All right, and yeah, I did not learn about the Skeens gland, and but
I don't even know what that is. I just learned about it right now. What is it?
You'll have to look it up. That's where this
Fucking-
stuff comes from.
They got some stanky gland
There's
in their
probably
pussies,
piss in
dude.
it too.
Oh
but,
no. Women
yeah.
are so gross. They got other shit now too. Ew.
So yeah, and we'll talk about this someday. But I went to high school, right near Little Italy in the Bowery, during the heyday, sort of, in the very late, I guess late 70s, late last year, and the early 80s when the mob was, and it was still Little Italy, and oh my God, some of the dumbest people on the planet. And it was a private school, and it was hilarious because it was not easy to get into. And then I learned that, like, if you paid somebody, your test scores and everything else didn't matter to get in. And so we were in there with like a lot of mobsters kids. And I didn't really remember them. I wasn't really all that attentive, and I got tossed out in junior year. So, but it was funny because like years later, I'm like looking in newspapers and stuff, and it was like, oh man, it's a couple of kids I went to high school with. And but they knew from an early age what they were going to do with their lives. They were never going to, like, school was never going to be an important thing to them.
Yeah.
You know? And
But they had a nice safe school to go to.
and they didn't care. And it was right, yeah, it was right near the school. I mean, it would be great because it would be nobody really picked up their kids from school. It was in Manhattan, so nobody really picked up their kids. But when they did, a lot of Cadillacs. That was the thing I remember mostly. So, but those guys. And but in any event, that school is now gone because the money was so good. And Schmuel, you ever smash two sisters at the same time? Never at the same time.
No, different.
But I have had. I could even tell you their names. And but not at the same time, and not even in the same time frame.
Lil Mir's requesting your presence on his show.
Yeah, I'm done, guys. This is
No, I'm saying he's asking you for, he needs you on his show because next week he says, because he hears good things about you.
my DMs are open there, Little Mir.
DM him, Lil Mir.
You can always DM. You can always DM. Oh, it's David Sarah Walker. It's not David Sarah. I almost was gonna fucking private message Dave their names.
And it's like Peter Sky Parker, but it's David Sarah Walker.
Sarah Walker.
And
Yeah.
it's Peter Sky Parker's picture, dude. It's crazy.
I almost fucking said
it's
them their
David.
names.
I mean, it's Peter. It's Peter.
Yeah. There was nothing unusual about their names though. They were very like average.
My
names.
sex life is so boring compared to yours, dude.
So, you know what? I was kind of unattractive, and so I was like, anything I could get, I would do. And I was like,
What's
you
that say
know,
about me?
like in anybody that paid attention to me, I was banging. You know, within reason.
I didn't do that.
Does Cookie know about Schmuel swinging past? So, Cookie did not know any of this stuff until we were dating a couple of years and got married, and she found out a bunch of stuff from an old friend, and you know,
Was it the old? Did you bang this old friend though?
no, it was a guy. It was another guy, and we had
Did you
gone
bang him?
to we went to stay, and he was telling stories, and that's where she found out about it. And most of this shit, you know what happens is it also happens over such a long period of time. Like I don't even remember these things. Like the two sisters, I only remember that now because somebody asked the question, but I would not have thought about it. And it really was just happenstance. It wasn't because, you know, it wasn't like arranged. It wasn't one of those things. It just happened to be.
Yeah. Your past doesn't define you.
Two sisters. Well, you travel in the same circumstances. Hey, Mint Diggity. Oh, this is Chicken of the Sea. Mint Diggity. Does Tom Myers have anyone in chat but you? That's a good question there, Mint.
Oh, Tom Myers, fantastic. Waste of time.
We tried to. Mint goes on Tom Myers, and Mint
Does he?
is one of Tom's favorites. No, Tom. Yeah, Mint is one of Tom's favorites. And Mint does him stuff, but does stuff in the chat, and he gets Tom going. But the chat tries to. I don't know. Tom is like anti-fun, so if the chat gets rolling, somehow he will manage to derail it.
It's like Antifa, but it's anti-fun or something.
David Sarah Walker, no, unequivocal, no.
Oh gosh, that'd be weird. That'd be weird.
Nuts. What's her name? Keanu and the mother talk about that, right? Right, having banged the same guy. They're like, what is that? Eskimo sisters
At the
or
same
something?
time?
Eskimo cousins? No.
Oh god.
No. I wasn't thinking this when that question got asked. I wasn't thinking at the same time.
I was thinking the same time.
I'm sorry.
Imagine that. Ugh.
And
Taste your daughter on my dick, bitch.
Chicken of the Sea. Tom is the worst. He keeps thinking his comedy is gold and is going to get clipped. Tom is not the worst. Frankly, if Tom streamed more, he'd be great. He put other shows to shame.
I've never watched his stream. Wait, what are you saying? If he did it more, it'd be good.
Well, if he could live with, like, his chat would be great. You know, because he gets trolled. He doesn't really understand the trolls, and they're not
good to make fun of and watch and make fun of. Is
mean and vicious. Right, but it would also, the thing with Tom is I think he's also probably sensitive. So I don't think you could say to Tom, "Hey Tom, that's the dumbest fucking joke I've ever heard." You know, like, you know, or not laugh, because when you watch his stream, like the other comedians, he says stuff that's just not funny, like objectively not funny, like reading the manual on, you know, how to paint a wall, and these guys are all chuckling. Ha 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 ha. Although Tom did have the greatest joke when he said he would run into the building. That as a comedian, he was much like a fireman having to run into a dangerous building or dangerous situation. But I think he was serious, so I don't think it was actually very funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He doesn't seem very fun to me.
He is fun, man. He would be fun to watch. And
We should do a show watching him. We should snipe him.
so I wanted. The thing is, he does. I was going to do that, but he does a show at 9 o'clock in the morning. I tried watching.
Let's do it. We'll snipe it in the
I
morning.
was going to do it. I was going to watch him again tomorrow, but I guess he does Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But Mondays and Wednesdays are live, and Friday is just a premiere.
We'll snipe his premiere, dude.
So I
Fuck
don't know.
this guy.
But he's
We should
also
go,
got-
this
he's
should
got,
be
like-
our thing, dude. We'll go after Tom Myers.
But he's
man.
got 10. Yeah, I don't really want to. He's got 10 people. But he's got 10 people in the chat.
10
right?
fans that we can get
And
to
he's
hate us.
sniping Steel Toe. And he's like,
Oh.
I'm owning you, buddy. I'm owning
no.
you. And then he sends Steel Toe like a super chat to try to get Steel Toe to say something. And Steel Toe is smart enough to ignore it. And Tom
Dude,
gets
we
mad at
would
him.
be super losers if we were sniping Tom Myers, who's sniping Steel Toe. That would be fucking some weird.
Yeah,
awful
I do,
shit.
but one day I do. That's my one goal. One day is to do
All
like
right, we'll do it.
snipe somebody who's sniping somebody who's sniping somebody. Get like a
Yeah.
5 snipe stream going together, and that would be. So Mint Diggity says he had up to 20 something, and Mint, it's your and that's your fault because what happens is Mint goes in. Mint does
Oh, I
something
see.
funny, then you sit around for Mint, and then like Husey was in the other day, and somebody else was in the other day. So you're not watching it for Tom, you're watching it for the chatters, and that's why it builds up.
Yeah.
So
That's what happens with some of these shows, though. It's fun.
We're-
The
we're-
watching of it or shitting on it is funner than the show.
yeah, but I don't know. Tom seems like I don't know. He just seems like a nice guy. I'd love to have him. I'd love to have him on the show.
Let's get him on the show. Do
But
that
you know, he's
too.
a sensitive guy. I think he's too big for us.
No,
know,
come on.
we don't
you're
get-
selling,
we don't
you're
get
selling
other
yourself short, Schmuel.
All right, guys. And I'm not only selling myself short. I this old man's got to go.
You
to
went too
bed.
long. Boom.
Too long. Yeah, trying to stay in that hour and a half, 2 hour range. Well,
Yeah, we're at 2.5
because the problem
hours,
is,
dude.
I'm so old, and these stories only get to work once. So
Yeah.
the longer I stay on, the more I tell, and then the less I have to tell in the future. And
Chicken of the Sea said that we should not give Tom any attention. So
who said that?
Chicken of the Sea said, Crumb
Oh.
don't give Tom the attention. So maybe not.
No, we got to get. I'm not gonna. We won't be sniping him. Just kidding. Min is great, so chatters will follow. Yeah, no, it's what happens is, man. He starts the. He starts it, right? Like
Yeah, Mint Diggity's
he
fun.
starts it, and then people go opinion. Wait, this is
see.
let Tom
Let
go
Tom
away.
go away.
Opinion Shmuley Botek. Wasn't that the like sex? Was that the sex rabbi or the good things happen to bad people guy? Is that the one, or is Shmuley the? There was another one who was the head of like the Lubavitcher people that passed away, and
I don't
recently.
know.
And that was a big thing, but not that you know what Lubavitches are, but no, Mint knows. Mint has a way of finding himself into trolling well. So, and that's it. So, anyway, guys, good night. Listen, thank you so much. We have 20 people who passed by us on Twitter and 19 people on YouTube, which is fantastic. So I'd ask you guys if you would like and subscribe. That would be awesome. And that would just be wonderful. And I'm going to read Leo Gunn's chat before I go. Shmuley Botek was Cory Booker's spiritual advisor campaign before he became mayor of Newark. Leo, I think you're correct, but I there's something more to he was like on Dr. Phil or something. And then what do you call it? Right, is this All right, here we go. Chris Mack. Rabbi Schmuel owns a sex shop in Israel with his daughter and writes a bunch of sex-positive books and stuff. Also, funny story, his nephew is that Ephraim Diveroli dude from the War Dogs movie. Wow. Wow. And yeah, that guy sells dildos with his daughters, yet takes pictures with all American politicians. Hey man, have you seen the Gay Pride Parade in New York? Yeah, it's it. And so yeah, so it's a different Schmuel, but there is a somebody had sent it to me early on when I first came into the Dabbleverse that there was actually a comedian for a while whose name was Schmuel, and they were asking me if I was him, but I couldn't really find anything on it. And it's kind of a popular name in the circles I've been in. So
I've heard it before somewhere.
you know, well, it's not an uncommon name.
Yeah, Schmuel.
And
Yeah.
all right, Permaseal. I've gotten to a
Permaseal.
point where I can't listen to Steel Toe or Ricada both, making me frickin' sick. Well, we did our little bit on those guys, but we tried to avoid it.
We
tried
agree
to
with
avoid,
you, Permaseal, I would say.
Right. We tried to avoid PDF talk. We tried to avoid insulting people in general. We came out as big Tom Myers fans, and there you go. So you cats, listen, everybody, really seriously, thank you so much for watching. We had 20, I think at one point we're up to 25 viewers on YouTube, which just fucking blows me away. And I think Cookie would say, you 25 need a life. And, but I'm glad you're spending it here with me. Sam Bibley asked a question. Sam, you have to save that for the next time, and I promise you that I will answer it.
It's a good question, too. In depth. You can get really in depth with that.
And Leo, Ray should look into Tunnel Rat. Ray's a little old for that. Anyway, guys, listen, I could go with you chat guys all night, but I got to get off because otherwise, again, like I said, I don't have a lot of stories, so I gotta parcel out the ones that I've got. Hey, thanks, guys. It's really cool to have you all in the chat, and it's really true. Crumb, I love having you, but the chat is what makes our show. Without them,
Totally, I agree, 100%.
Be no fun at all. And all right, Sam, sorry, bud, but my DMs are open, Sam. You can always get me on Twitter. All right, guys. Good night, everybody. Take care.